Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Welcome to theboxingvoice.com. Our show will provide in-depth international coverage of the sport of boxing. You'll receive your daily boxing news and headlines, as well as pre-fight interviews on upcoming fights, along with a detailed review of every fight, the aftermath, and its results. Our audience is second to none, with callers from all over the world. Tune in once and become addicted. The difference between us and most is our continued efforts to prioritize the boxing fans, putting them first, giving them the platforms to express their angers and their celebrations. When they pick the winner correctly or incorrectly, call in and voice your opinion. Make sure you follow us on YouTube and Blog Talk Radio to receive one email whenever a show is scheduled, because we do spontaneous shows you wouldn't want to miss. Now your host, Nestor Gibbs.
All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice. And obviously, I'm your host, Ness GTO. And today is going to be October 1st, Adrien Broner, Khabib Allakhverdiev preview, actually, and Lucas Matthysse versus Viktor Postol fight preview, as well as a lot of news and notes. Definitely a lot of headlines to get into and a lot of stuff to talk about. Unfortunately, for all you guys that were waiting and hoping that Christopher Bobby didn't show up, he showed up. He definitely got in touch with me today, and he will be receiving his autographed glove. And we still have others. Brandon Rios has another big fight coming up with Timothy Bradley. We're going to get one with Rios. We got one already for Canelo and Cotto. So we're taking care of you guys. And we definitely want you to continue to take care of us. Obviously, it's super important.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
And I'll never stop reminding you that, right? So Erickson Lubin, you guys should be remembering him from his last fight on PBC, looking great when he stopped Orlando Lara, and I believe a 6-round stoppage. He's going to be live on the show at 7:30, and it's his birthday, man. So if you're on social media, say thank you, man. Thank you to the guy for coming on the Boxing Voice on his birthday. And if he doesn't show up, we'll give him a break for not showing up on his birthday, right? But at 8 o'clock, we're going to have Julius Jackson, the son of Julian Jackson. And he's hailing from St. Martin. He's going to be making his fight on PBC as well in San Antonio, co-promoted with Leja Batá Promotions over there in San Antonio, Texas. But we're going to be reviewing, obviously, the PBC on Fox Sports Deportes that took place last Tuesday, plus a bunch of headlines and these upcoming fights, which are a lot. You're going to have to set some DVRs. You might have to watch some on YouTube, but there's so much action this weekend. It is insane. So hopefully you guys, can buckle up and get some of that. So let me go ahead and introduce some of these good old guys I got.
Go ahead, Enrique. Go ahead, jump in.
What's up, man? Yeah, man. Yeah, I just want to say I saw the fight too.
Just stay focused, stay working my jab, and using my fundamentals.
As you saying, like Boxing Voice.
Because if he comes to fight, then I'm gonna have to look for him.
As you saying, like Boxing Voice.
I think he's accurate.
Yeah. That's me, casual fan, the Boxing Voice. Yeah, so I'm excited about today's show. Viktor Postol, if that's how his name is pronounced. I've been researching him a little bit and want to find out how you guys gauge him, and I'm curious to hear about the Matthysse matchup with him. Also, fresh off the Fortuna fight, Oscar Molina, as well as Dominic Doughton and Dominic Doughton versus Oscar Molina. That's right. That fight, good fight. So yeah, welcome October 1st. And Nestor, thank you for the intro. Let's start the show.
All right. Well, remember, hashtag TBV podcast. If you want to interact, we will be obviously mentioning your tweets live on the air. And the number 646-478-3068. Press 1 if you want to talk. If you want to get on the show and, let it off your chest, definitely press 1. I want to remind everyone to go ahead and download that Boxing Voice app, either on Android or iPhone, whatever is your liking. Pick your poison. We got you. Everything in one place: Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, everything. Whatever Oh, even the show, which is the most important thing. You know, you can listen from the show. So definitely download that app. And yeah, let's get right into it. You know, so Tuesday, September 29th on PBC Fox Sports Deportes in Las Vegas, Nevada, Javier Fortuna defeated Carlos Vasquez by 10th round TKO for Fortuna's WBA regular junior lightweight title. Now, I'm going right into the main event. Normally we do it backwards, but you know, obviously this was a guy that I've been following now for quite some time. I remember when Samson Lewickovich first brought him over here from the Dominican Republic, and he signed with Lou DiBella. You know, I've been waiting for Fortuna to polish himself up just a little bit. And, you know, while he was a bit sloppy this Tuesday, I did see improvements, and I was happy to see those improvements. And I think it comes from, you know, the consistency, you know, the fact that he's being able to be active. If you remember Fortuna before, you know, getting on these cards on PBC, the guy wasn't really fighting as much. You know, we didn't see him as often, and you know, his inconsistencies definitely were showing flaws. I mean, I guess the most notable was when he fought on the Manny Pacquiao undercard versus like Patrick Hyland, and you know, he really didn't impress when he should have been impressing, but he's been active. I mean, he fought May 29th on the Barclays Center card when he fought on Algiri Khan undercard, and then look, he's right back September 29th, you know, fighting on this card in Las Vegas, Nevada. And, you know, I wish Amir Khan would have did the same. I think activity would do a fighter good, but, you know, Javier Fortuna, look, like I said, he was wide and he got hit with some shots, and there was obviously some technical flaws. But what he did do well was go to the body. I mean, he really invested in that body, and he was able to pull away a 12th round stoppage. He dropped Vasquez in the second round, and I mean, this was a bloody fight. Fortuna broke his nose, and for every round, they just couldn't stop the bleeding. It was so much blood. Fortuna, you know, he really was doing what he wanted, fighting with his hands down. And, you know, that's a major problem for me because he does have some success with that Sergio Martinez style. And I know they said it on the telecast, but any hardcore fan knows that, you know, that was that Martinez style a long time ago, ever since he linked up with that camp. And it really changed him. And Martinez definitely influenced him. But I didn't like it when he was doing that looping lead kind of, I don't know if it's a left hook, whatever it was. I mean, it was horrible when he was using it. I mean, it just felt like it had nothing on it. But don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously Velasquez was feeling the effects of these punches, but they just looked to be lobbing punches, and there was a lot of clinching in this fight. It wasn't the prettiest fight, and it wasn't the best performance, but he got a stoppage. He showboated a little bit and was successful at it. And you know, I think that he makes for some interesting fights. Now, the interesting thing was that on Instagram, Tevin Farmer, who's also signed to Lou DiBella, but fights on HBO, or his last fight was on HBO, he automatically put a picture of him and Fortuna side by side and said, you know, this is what the fans want. And, you know, I wouldn't mind that fight for Fortuna. I don't know if the fans would accept it, being as though the Farmer already has 2 losses, but I mean, he's bounced back from that. He looked great his last performance. But Enrique, what did you think of Javier Fortuna on toe-to-toe Tuesdays on PBC last Tuesday?
All right. So first, I enjoyed Tuesday night fights, be honest with you. Javier Fortuna, it was my first time seeing him. And I was expecting a little better performance. Like you said, he was a little sloppy. I didn't know much of Carlos Velasquez. I kind of was going towards Velasquez a little bit. He seemed more confident to me in the the pre-fight meeting. Fortuna obviously won, took control, but did it sloppily. Am I excited for Fortuna? Nah, my pulse isn't racing for him, but I will be looking out for him. And that was 130 pounds. I was like, damn, whatever happened to the exciting fighters like Crawford and Gamboa being the called out name? So I don't know anybody he can fight because I'm not too familiar with that division. But yeah, I liked boxing on Tuesday. I enjoyed the Dominic fight, the Dolphin fight a lot better, in my opinion.
Well, in his division, which is 130 pounds, he's ranked number 2 in the world.
Okay.
So he's definitely one of the best.
I'm sure he got a lot of hype around his name. I looked up.
Well, I mean, it's not that much hype though. I mean, this is all just started obviously because of these last 2 fights. You know, again, I really think you had to be a hardcore before that. You know, he beat up Abner Cotto. A couple of people seen that fight, but Abner Cotto, you know, he hasn't done much outside of losing and having that Miguel Cotto name, right? But I think Uchiyami is the guy that everybody feels is number 1 in that division. So Fortuna would have to face him. But Pedraza is a stablemate who's gonna be on the, let me see, he's fighting this Saturday night on the Adrien Broner Khabib Allakhverdiev card, and he's on the undercard versus Edner Cherry. And he's also, I believe he is the IBF. What is he? Yep, he's the IBF champion. So, you know, this could be some sort of unification, even though Fortuna doesn't have the official WBA. He's got the regular. So there is a you know, a super champion out there, or a vacated, you know, a vacant champion. But Fortuna's dominance against Vasquez was reflected on BoxRec. I mean, he landed 168 punches out of 453 punches. That's 37%, while Vasquez landed only 51 punches out of 287. So that's 18%. Now, on the undercard was 2 undefeated fighters, man, and it was a sad day because these 2 guys really showed out. They really put it all on the line, and neither one of them were able to get away with a win. There was a draw, and sometimes decisions like this I feel okay about because this was a tight fight. But in my opinion, I think that the slicker fighter Dominic Dolton was doing more of the work. I understand that Oscar Molina, in the eyes of, I guess, the fans or the telecast, was landing the bigger blows. But it was a majority draw in the junior middleweight division, and you know, I think it puts them both on the map because they showed their skills.
Right. Well, this is a fight that I judged. I scored. I was writing notes round per round, and I did not add my score up. And at the end, when I added it up, I had it 95-95, and I was like, "Wow, this is a draw." I bet they give it to Dolton, and sure enough, it was a draw. And like you said, man, it was what was his opponent's name? Molina. Molina was landing a lot of power shots back to back to back. And that was effective enough to give him the rounds that I gave him. I wrote notes on like the first round. I noticed the jabs and followed with the 1 and 2 from Dolton round 1. Molina 1 count the left hook, so I gave that to Molina, and so forth and so on. Then it was hard shots. The first 2 I gave to Dolton. Then the third round, early Molina showed some power and hurt a head whip Dolton. So, you know, it was one of those back and forth, and then even rounds that I wasn't too secure about and swing it, and still gave it to Dolton, where made it a match, a tie. So I really liked that fight. That was an exciting fight. That's what I was expecting to see from Fortuna.
I mean, again, it's kind of how you judge fights and what you like, because I thought Dolton was doing a lot of the flashy work, a lot of the combinations, a lot of the doubling up on the jab, the one using the ring generalship was important. But you know, it was a majority draw, and it is what it is. I'm just excited to see both these guys back in action. Neither one lose anything, and I think both of their stocks kind of rise just a bit. Now, Jalen Love defeated Marcus Upshaw by 10-round unanimous decision in the super middleweight division. You know, Jalen Love staying busy is really all I can say. They didn't show this live, but they did show like a brief, I guess, highlight, and I guess the fight wasn't that good where they couldn't find enough highlights to make Jalen Love look as good. Now we are going to be having our Las Vegas correspondent, who was on hand covering the fight for us, Sean Zattel, call in a little bit later in the show and give us a little more insight, because again, this was a live fight, but he got the unanimous decision in the super middleweight division. Andrew Tabiti was a guy that we did see, and he defeated Tomas Lodi in 2nd round stoppage. Now this kid continues to look good, and remember the last time that we seen him, he was only 10-0, and this time he improves to 11-0 and another stoppage, and he's looking good. I mean, you know, the only thing, if you want to rag on him or you want to keep your eye on something or nitpick whatever, you know, synonym you want to use for that, I would say it's the Mayweather defense. You know, I always get nervous when I see a guy trying to mimic Mayweather and do that shoulder roll. Casual, what did you think of Andrew Tabiti? He definitely looked strong getting the second round stoppage in the cruiserweight division.
Ness, I didn't see the Andrew Tabiti fight. I tuned in for the Fox 1 Sports only for Fortuna, and was lucky enough to catch 2 fights. So my apologies.
I hear you, man. You are dropping the ball. Dropping the ball.
Introducing the hard-hitting ringside Robbie.
Well, Ness, I'll pick up the ball because I did watch Andrew Tabiti and he looked good. I hope they keep giving him fights. And I hear an echo, so I hope nobody else on Blog Talk gets an echo. But no, Andrew Tabiti looked really good. I hope they keep him busy, and I agree with you on him copying Mayweather. I don't think that's a very good idea for fighters to do that. If you don't have the capability to do that, you shouldn't try it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I just wonder when is it okay to criticize it? Should we wait for the defense not to work for him? Because up until now, obviously, he's using it fairly well, and he's not getting hit, but he's beating guys he's supposed to beat. And speaking of beating guys, poor Mickey Bay didn't get on this card. He was supposed to be on it, but his return was put on hold because his opponent missed weight, and Mickey Bay was off the Tuesday night premieres of Premier Boxing Champions on Fox Sports 1. But moving on, man, let's switch it up a little bit to the headlines because there's something interesting taking place, man. TMZ Sports is reporting that Gamboa is suing 50 Cent to break out of his contract. Gamboa says that he has issues with SMS Promotions for months, claiming that the company was contractually obligated to deliver 3 fights per year ever since he came on board in 2002, but SMS has failed to live up to those terms. I'm just excited that Gamboa is finally ruffling the feathers. I mean, this guy, poor kid, man. I mean, he's been plagued with managerial and promotional issues. Even when he was with Top Rank, he had another 2 or 3 promoters attached to him and leeching from him. And it's always been an issue with Gamboa. Hopefully his prime years aren't behind him. And when he finally resolves all this and someone can finally sign him, Casual, do we get to see, I guess, a prime Gamboa still? Robbie, Casual, which other one?
Well, I hope so, because I was a big fan of Gamboa, especially when he was going to fight Brandon Rios. So, you know, I always kept the faith in him coming back and doing justice. I was heartbroken when he lost to Crawford. But, yeah, man, I want to see more of Gamboa. I actually tweeted him when Fortuna was you know, fighting. I tweeted about him like, damn, what happened to the Gamboa excitement, like that kind of matchup? So yeah, I miss that dude, and I hope so. I hope he's not past his prime.
Well, I hope there's 2 Cubans out there that need new promoters, and I hope both Gamboa and Rigging Diao get new promoters, because we need to see both of these guys on our TV. I hate it when fighters have these kind of issues and they're kept out of the ring, and I've got to wonder, the last time we seen him on our TV was the Crawford fight, and I've got to wonder at that low weight class how much he's got left, because he took a pretty severe beating at the hands of somebody who is, you know, obviously moved up in weight twice now and is looking really good. So hopefully his career isn't behind him, and hopefully he gets with a promoter and we actually get to see more of both of these guys, actually.
Yeah, man, I'd be excited, man. Definitely be excited to see him. Someone that was on hand and is also Cuban, was on hand for that PBC Toe-to-Toe Tuesdays, was Rancis Bartholomew. And, you know, he was supposed to be on this card as well, defending that you know, title, that IBF title, or going for the IBF title. I think he's fighting for a vacant. I got to double check that, but he's going to be fighting now on the December 5th at the Barclays, where Daniel Jacobs and Peter Quillen are finally going to be getting it on December 5th. And we've already broke the news that Pritchard Cologne's going to be on that undercard. And, now Sean Zettel was on hand Tuesday, and he finds out that, Rances Bartholomew and Denis Shafikov is going to be on that undercard as well. So that card is definitely shaping up to be nice. Only thing I'm upset about is, listen, you build and pump Daniel Jacobs on this PBC series, and you build and pump Peter Quillen on this PBC series, and now the fight is on Showtime. I don't understand that part. What do you guys' take on that?
Well, if you allow me to go ahead.
I think it's kind of a bad move on the PBC's part, because you obviously made a big deal about that fight taking place on the NBC card when Peter Quillen fought. You interviewed both Quillen and Jacobs on the NBC card, and now you're going to put this fight on Showtime. It's a good fight. I'm glad it's happening, but why would you promote a fight that you have no plans on showing on NBC primetime TV? But hey, I'm glad the fight's happening, and that card is sounding great.
Well, I'm absolutely happy that it will be on Showtime. I don't care about the politics of NBC and promotions. I'm happy these two are fighting in Brooklyn, New York for the crown of Brooklyn. And I will be tuned in. And I'm a fan of both of them. So may the best man win. And yeah, I don't understand the politics behind the Showtime being aired on Showtime.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Little strange. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because Sean Zettel was happened to be, on hand and spoke to Rances. But getting back to the Gamboa news, man, the problem with Gamboa is he hasn't fought since 2013. He only fought once, and then in 2014 he fought twice. No fights at all in 2015. And Gamboa says his team has contacted SMS to negotiate the termination of his contract earlier this year, but he's got no response. So my question to you guys is, who do you think picks him up, or who would you like to see pick him up?
I think he'll probably go to Al Heyman, right? Why not? And I wouldn't mind seeing that. But my curiosity comes from SMS. Didn't they file Chapter 11 so they don't exist anymore, and then everything is a wash and a write-off at that point?
Yeah, well, they're definitely going through some bankruptcy. That was also reported on TMZ. And that could be the reason that Gamboa is trying to get out of there. I mean, he sees a sinking ship and he's ready to go. He's ready to, fighters are supposed to fight, man. And it's just sad to see this kid, so much talent, and having those sort of issues,
I think you're going to see Gamboa wind up with either Heyman on the PBC or Golden Boy. I don't think Top Rank's going to touch him because he's already been there. And so I definitely see a bidding war between Oscar and Al.
I don't know about a bidding war. I don't know if they're going to be, arguing over it, but
I think they're my point is I think they're both going to be interested, so I think he'll take the best offer.
Right.
Man, I just hope that he ends up, doing well. And speaking of not doing well, we got about 7 minutes before we get into our first guest, and that's going to be Erikson Luben, the young prospect out of Orlando, Florida, and just been looking good as of late. So, definitely tune in. Tweet that out at any other social media that you may be on, share that because, this kid's a pretty hot prospect, and it's going to be exciting to talk to him. But speaking of failing, PBC on NBC continues to decrease in viewership. This last viewership continues to fall. I mean, the heavyweight title is Deontay Wilder's mismatch against Johan Duhaupas on Saturday. Didn't do so well in terms of numbers when you factor in all the other NBC on PBC cards. The March 7th card that dropped with Keith Thurman and Robert Guerrero, that averaged about 3.37 million viewers. The second card with Danny Garcia and Lamont Peterson did around 2.88 million viewers. And the third show held by Porter and Broner That one dropped to 2.33. So now, obviously, it's a downward trend, and it's not looking good, right? So the average for Deontay Wilder was 2.2. So it's really nothing in terms of drop off when we're talking about from the last to this one. I mean, I don't know. I'm no mathematician or an accountant here, but what's 0.3? I mean, from 0.2 to 0.3, I don't think it's a big drop. But even if it is, right? Think about the opponent, for God's sakes. I mean, how could you compare the numbers of a Robert Guerrero and Keith Thurman, who have more popularity or notoriety in the sport, Danny Garcia, Lamont Peterson, who have more popularity or notoriety in the sport, to Duhaupas? I mean, Duhaupas is who he is. He's Duhaupas. People never heard of him. You know, so it is what it is. I mean, what do you guys think about this? It's still an obvious downward, you know, kind of trend on the NBC on PBC numbers.
I have a question.
Well, go ahead, Enrique, and then I'll.
All right. I haven't been following the numbers, but it's interesting because now I hear a lot of millions, like 2.5 and 2.2 and 2.3. What were the numbers on Showtime and HBO when there were no NBC on PBC on NBC? Were they in the millions as well?
Yeah, they were only in the millions, though. Never, like, you know, very few people do 1.6 on HBO and Showtime. There are people that have done that or more, but very few people do that.
Right. So what I make up of these numbers is that on regular TV, more people are changing and stopping and watching. And then not too many people are getting the news that there is a fight on. So they're not stumbling upon it. Whereas in HBO and Showtime, you know it's going to happen. It's a name brand fight. A guy's going to tune in who watches it, whether he's a casual or a hardcore fan. So, you know, those are big numbers.
You cannot compare a paid television service to free TV. Free TV is always going to have better ratings because people don't have to pay for it.
But here's why I compare the two.
You can get NBC without having cable. The problem I see with these numbers, Ness, is if you're going to have cards on NBC, you've got to have two big name fighters that everybody knows in the main event. And nobody in America knew who Duhaupas was. I mean, everybody, for those that have been following boxing, everybody knows who Wilder is, but the NBC cards themselves are going to do better when you have two bigger names that people are familiar with. That's why it's very curious that Daniel Jacobs and Peter Quillen are actually going to fight on Showtime instead of like NBC.
Right.
Well, there's been room. Go ahead, Casual.
I was going to say, if you walk around your block and there were 10 houses, I'm sure 9 or not 10, if not 10, have cable television. That's not old it's cable. Everyone has it right now. It's a bundle. So you're a fan of boxing or you're not. Now, people, it doesn't matter how many times have fights have not had two big names. How many big names are repeated on fights? Not that many.
I think you know, people just want to be negative. I think it's a freaking. I think it's what is the word? It's definitely good that he was able to get 2 point whatever.
That's a big number.
To watch Duhaupas. No one knows who's Duhaupas ever. We never heard of him. And people are going to say, yeah, but they were pumping him up to be the next great heavyweight. And that's what they're supposed to do. You know, that's, you know, this is a business for them. You know, for us, it's a sport, but that's what they're supposed to do. It is what it is. The numbers were what they were. Erickson Lubin in about 1 minute. Where is my girl, Gina? She must be in the background getting him. Oh, she's already on. Oh, and she's been on. Let me look for her. Sorry about that, Eric. So yeah, man. You know, the numbers were what they were, but again, he was facing Duhaupas. I think that's impressive to garner 2 million and almost and a half to come out and watch you versus a guy they never heard of. I don't see Gina. Gina, press 1, please.
You know what's got to start doing the numbers is those YouTube shows that you're doing. That's the top 5 pick after Floyd Mayweather. If you haven't seen it, that's something that you got to see. If you don't know about the Anthony Joshua It's great information. It's edited well, and I enjoyed it. That should be doing numbers. That to me is like my mini all access, my 24/7. So yeah, I don't have the link, but you can follow me at the TBV_casual fan on Twitter, and I'll definitely put it out there if you ask me for it. I will
Gina,
send
you
you the
there?
link.
Gina.
Yeah, so I enjoy Twitter, man. I enjoy the people that hit me up on Twitter all the time. So keep it up, especially while it's fight night or while we're on the show, TBV podcast. Tell me what you think. Give me your feedback. I'll take it as criticism. And if you got any questions for me, I will definitely answer them on air. Even though most of you are hardcore, it's like too damn hard.
Well, I misread her text. I thought she had him already and that they were waiting for 9 minutes. So luckily we didn't keep him on hold, and she's getting them now. But let me get to another little headline here while we do that. Well, we kind of mentioned already and we spoke about it. So let's and she's on. You there, Gina?
I am here, and I have Erickson with me.
How you doing, Mr. Luben?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Doing good. How are you?
We're good. We're good. We're happy to have you. Listen, I'm very, very excited to have you on the show. You don't know how much of a fan we all are of you. I mean, you're like a breath of fresh air for boxing. You know, right off the bat, I guess my first question is going to be, why are you moving at this pace?
It's the pace I want to move at, you know. I feel like I have the talent to move at this pace.
No, you certainly have been showing it. You know, we're all impressed. The names that you've been knocking off are guys that definitely other prospects or top contenders faced further in their career. I mean, you know, with 12-0 right now, you face some notable names like Bruce, Orlando Lara. I mean, even Finley, No Blano, you know, Gonzalez. You've got a couple of scalps on your resume already, man. How's it feel to be known as one of the top prospects for 2015?
It feels good. You know, I'm just trying to chip my way to the contender slot.
Now, you know, there's been some.
I won't be labeled as a. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were done.
Go ahead. I hear you.
Well, there's been some mention that you were planning to move down to 147. I mean, I know there were, you know, a couple of fights that you had at that weight, but are you headed back down in that direction? Because I read something that you said you were very comfortable at 154.
You know, if it's right, you know, I'll go back down to 47. But I am comfortable at 54. 47, I could actually make it. You know, 54 is where I feel much stronger at.
Yeah, man. You know, you impressed us all, especially on this show. You know, I had ran across that sparring footage with you and Amir Iman. And is it true that you were only 17 at that time?
Yeah, I was only 17, you know. I was just getting looked at, you know, just getting good work. I just came back from the Olympic Training Center. I got off the plane and got some sparring in with a great prospect, a good friend of mine, Amir.
Speaking of the Olympic training, that was a thing that you chose to opt out of and turn pro at an early age. Actually, happy birthday. Today's your birthday, man. I'm so thankful that you took the time to do this, you know, during a day like today, a special day of your own. So absolutely happy birthday, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, Erickson Lubin, what's up, man? I'm a casual fan, one of the resident voices on the panel. You know, I just came across your name when I got an email saying you will be one of the guests. Happy birthday. I'm also a Libra. But as a young prospect, what do you like see yourself next as fights come on? Like when I say next, like what's like the challenges? Because a lot of people say on the show, especially, like it might be too soon. He might be, you know, looking good against weak oppositions. What's next? What's the next challenge?
Let's just be clear that what he's saying, that's general talk, not specifically to Lubin.
No, not to Lubin. I'm just saying they say that about guys coming up, that some certain things are too soon. So I want to know, like, what's, just to learn a little bit about you, like, what's your next step so I could look at who that would be and start, you know, studying you.
you know, I'm just trying to get to that contender spot, man. So whoever they put in front of me, you know, I don't never turn down no fights. You know, they give me a name, I'm ready to fight them. So whatever they give me, I'm ready to fight to get to that contender spot.
Right. So
that
is
big headline floating around is that you know, you want to be a top contender by the end of 2015. Is that still an option for you, being as though there's only a couple of months left? Or do you feel that you'll get a big enough name to be considered a top contender already?
Hopefully, you know, hopefully I could get a good name, get me to that contender spot by the year, and then start the 2016 year off great, and you know, work my way to becoming a champion. You know, I want to be not just a champion, you know, undisputed.
So, Erickson, what like when I asked who was next, I want to just know a name. Like, what names are you interested in to be put in that contender spot?
Anybody, everybody. You know, I really don't have any names. I look at these dudes and I'll fight everybody.
Right.
So
to me, Amir Khan is the truth. How was that fake fighting him? You say he's a good friend. I mean, I know it's sparring, but what do you pick up from that?
He's a great friend. You know, he's 2 weight classes below me as well. So I'll keep that in sparring, you know.
Right. Yeah, man. So I mean, I don't know much. I'm a casual fan, so I'm just gonna say I'm look out for you now that you're on the show, man. Congratulations to where you stand, and definitely will be watching out for you myself.
So Luben, tell me, how was it fighting in front of your hometown crowd like that? I mean, there was definitely a lot of people in attendance there for you. We had one of our correspondents, Rory, out there, and he got to speak to you and just see all the embrace that the fans gave you, and even Wilkie. Wilkie got a lot of support out there.
Oh yeah, well it was great, you know, because I never really fought at home, and didn't know how I would respond to that, but I responded great, you know. I didn't really get overwhelmed or anything, or get too anxious to get the knockout. Just went my rounds, you know. It was my first 10-rounder, and I did well.
You sure did, man. You've been impressing. Listen, we don't want to take too much more of your time, and we're excited to see you and continue watching you, you know, rise up the ranks, and definitely behind you. Anybody that's 12-0 and wants to be in the ring and is getting in the ring with this type of opposition already, you know, the hardcore fans are behind you, man. So we hope that you can cross over and get that commercial appeal, man, because we want someone, you know, with your attitude and mentality in the ring to definitely be a star in the sport and an ambassador for boxing.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
If you have any social media, man, give it out so if anybody who isn't following can do so.
You can follow me on Twitter at Erickson Hammer L. And you can follow me on Instagram at just Erickson Hammer.
Yo, and I'm just gonna tell you.
Erickson.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought it was just Twitter and IG. My bad.
Yeah, that's it.
I was gonna say, I'm just gonna tell you, I agree with you. Drake was better than Meek on that diss track. And if he ain't writing his own shit, it's still top 5. I believe you. Erickson, man, thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure. We can't wait to get you back, brother. And we can't wait to see you on TV again.
All right, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. All right, let's try and get in here with Sean Zattel. Let me see if we could get him on. Casual, what's going on, brother?
Hold on real quick. Yeah, man. So I was just trying to learn about the guy, you know, the 2 guests. I don't know every name in boxing. So I was just trying to learn him. I didn't box rec him or nothing. I was just, you know, talking to him as just a regular person. So my fault if I stumbled on wrong weight classes and asking about Amir Khan. To me, Amir Khan is the truth. So I thought, you know, since they sparred, they would have weighed the same at least.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, different weight class. So it doesn't mean much, but at 17, it meant a lot to me. I mean, the kid was super duper impressive at that age. So, and you know, he looks good. Sean, if you're there, call in and press 1, please. Robbie, is Robbie still there? I think he is.
Robbie went to sleep.
No. I had him off for the interview. Robbie, what you think of Lubin?
Yeah, I'm here.
I hear you, brother. What you think of Lubin?
I like Erickson Lubin. I think he's a truth, and I think 154 is absolutely perfect for him. And there's some good fights set up for the future in that division. So I agree with his choice at staying at 154. But it's nice to know that, you know, if he keeps winning, that he can easily make 147 if they want to put a fight together in that weight class. But I like his decision to stay at 154.
Sean, talk to me,
hello?
brother.
Hey, what's up, Nets?
What's up, man?
I
You
wanted
never
to
did
start-
press one.
Well, what happened?
No, I said talk to us.
Hello? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I wanted to start about just 2 days ago, Tuesday night's fights here in Las Vegas. It was a PBC card promoted by PBC on Fox. And, well, here were some of the highlights of the night. Well, actually, we'll start with the less important stuff. We had Jay Leon Love winning a 10-round decision. But Jay Leon Love, even though he won a good 10-round decision and he fought aggressive in the last 2 rounds, he seems to begin to be falling behind the pack of all the other young guys from the money team. He looked caught.
He dropped off. We'll get him back. Let me see. So, listen, big news, and what I'm excited and I'm happy. Showtime stepped up to the plate, and they're getting the television rights for the U.S. to air Brook versus Diego Chavez. So, Kell Brook versus Diego Chavez, we're gonna get to see. It's gonna be. It was like 2 weeks ago. The Showtime prematurely announced that it had secured the U.S. television rights for the Brook defense against Diego Chavez on October 24th at the Motor Point Arena in Brook's hometown of Sheffield, England. But you know, Showtime will indeed carry the live American coverage of the fight on its Showtime International Series. The telecast is going to air at 5:45 p.m. Eastern with the primetime replay at 9 p.m. Eastern. Showtime will simulcast the British telecast of the fight from Sky Sports while using its own announcers, Brian Custer, Al Bernstein, and Paulie Malignaggi. So I'm happy about this because, you know, Kell Brook's a player in the division. He's a belt holder. He's a guy that's obviously, you know, going to be in another big fight coming up. And I want to see how he looks against Diego Chavez, a guy that, you know, while he hasn't gotten any wins, I still kind of respect because I feel like he did a good job versus Rios. He hung in there with Bradley, but I had Bradley winning that fight, you know, very single-handedly. I mean, wide. I don't see how that was a draw, but you know, he's still a bit of a player. You know, I would have liked to see Brook, you know, after 2 bum-ass title defenses, you know, versus Gavin and some other guy that looks just like Gavin by the name of Jojo Dan. I would have liked to see Brook in there with a little live body, you know, somebody coming off a win, somebody with a little bit of confidence. You know, maybe somebody undefeated, maybe, you know, somebody, but, you know, we get this body and I'm all right with it. You know, at the end of the day, you know, I'm a fight fan like anybody, so I'm a pout. But, you know, it's a decent fight, especially if Chavez, the version of Chavez that fought Keith Thurman, comes into the ring. Casual, again, you're getting a lot of airtime today, baby. Tell me that you know who Diego Chavez is and Kell Brook.
Most definitely know both of them. Diego Chavez to me beat not a Timothy Bradley, but Brandon Rios. So I know him for the 3 fights he's had, notable fights. Also, my boy Keith Thurman, he fought. So yeah, I'm excited for that, man. And I don't see that being an easy fight for Kell Brooks at all, because we know that Chavez is a wild fighter. And he comes to hurt you, and he can hold the punch. So I will be able to gauge Kell Brook off of this fight. So, yeah.
Well, I think Kell Brook will show you that, you know, he is a definite champion, and it won't be easy, but I suspect that he's going to have a good win. And I hope that somebody will convince Kell that he needs to come over here to America to start making title defenses. He can't continue to have guys go over to England. I mean, because before the Diego Chavez fight was put together, it was supposed to be Brandon Rios, and you know, and that was part of the reason why it didn't work out, is because, you know, they wanted Rios to go over there. And you know, when you're a world champion, you've got to learn to fight in other places, because not everybody's going to want to cross the pond. But I suspect that Kell Brook will have a victory, but I think Chavez will make him earn it.
You're probably right.
I hope it's a game fight, man. I hope it's at least a back and forth fight, and we can. I mean, listen, it can end up being interesting. Again, if we get that version of, you know, Diego Chavez that was in there with Rios and in there with Thurman, you know, and we get the same Kell Brook that was in there with Carson Jones, there could be some problems. Hopefully we get that version that was in there with Porter without the holding, and it makes for a good fight because, you know, I like the fight. You know, I like the fight. I really do. And, you know, obviously I wanted to be a better opponent, but it is what it is.
Don't even respect your ass. That's why it's time for the doctor to check your ass, nigga.
Yo, what's up, gentlemen? Fight Doctor's in the house. On Rick James status as always.
Fight Doctor Rick James. What's up?
Yo, listen. What's the story with the whole deal with Pacquiao allegedly fighting Amir Khan? Is that getting any traction? Is that just hearsay?
Well, it's definitely
I read a couple of
it's definitely not hearsay, Fight Doctor. There's definitely interviews with Bob Arum out there saying that he's dealing with Team Khan and Khan's attorney, Robert David, I think it is. The thing is, we all know that Khan's advisor or manager or whatever he is Al Heyman, and you know, there's been rumors of those Al Heyman contracts, and Khan, you know, while he's kind of hinted that he has this cushy situation where, you know, he may not be like the rest of the Heyman fighters, I don't believe it, but I don't believe that Heyman would block the fight from Khan either. I believe that if Bob is really willing to have Pacquiao fight Amir Khan and the money is right, I don't think that Heyman is going to stop his fighter from making the money, because before he became this PBC guy, he was just known as the guy to get his fighters the best, biggest possible fight and money. Like, if you had Heyman, then you could get a Canelo fight. That's how it worked. If you had Heyman, you can get a Mayweather fight. So hopefully, you know, they get him that, you know, Pacquiao fight, because the thing is, again, it's starting to feel like Amir Khan, Devin Alexander, that winner again. I mean, here we are again, where it's the end of the year. He hasn't fought since May in a fight where he didn't look that great versus Algieri, and he's not even being active. I mean, his own trainer is upset that this dude is around the world instead of, you know, actually in the gym.
Well, as I stated on last show, Amir Khan has got to pay more attention to his boxing career instead of trying to negotiate fights through the media and being outside the ring. Because before we know it, his career is going to pass him by if he keeps having these long, protracted layoffs. You know, you don't want to pull what Andre Ward just went through and not being able to fight for almost 2 years. So, you know, if I'm Khan's advisor, I somehow convince him that he's got to take his career seriously. But go ahead, Fight Doctor.
Well, there's a difference between the situation with Andre Ward and Amir Khan. And, well, let me back up for a second. Now, I heard some rumors that supposedly Khan has left Al Heyman and he's no longer being represented by Al Heyman. I don't know if that's true or not, but it seems to me like for Arum to even consider making the Khan Pacquiao fight, the Khan would need to, you know, sever his ties to Al Heyman. Now, I thought that that's what happened, or I heard some talk about that, but I don't know for sure. But again, the Khan situation and the Ward situation are 180 degrees. Now, Ward had to sit out because he had, promotional issues, which, those things happen. Now, Khan, on the other hand, can fight. He's available to fight. We don't know of any promotional issues. Maybe there is something going on with Al Heyman. Who knows? But I think the situation with Khan is that he's sitting around waiting for a big fight to happen, and the big fights are saying, or the big fighters are saying, well, you need to go fight somebody and give us reason to fight you. And Khan, on his end is saying, well, I don't want to get knocked out and then, not get the big fight.
Hey, man, I am in your boat. I know that's what Khan's doing. He's waiting not to be knocked out so that he could get the big fight. He's got to stay in the winning column, and taking fights are dangerous. I mean, look, no one expected the jury besides myself probably for it to look that way. 561 Florida, talk to me.
What's up, guys? It's Matt from Florida. Yeah, just gonna be quick because I know you guys got a lot of callers, but yeah, the PBC on the FS1 card is pretty good Tuesday. I had Dalton winning like 7 rounds to 3, but it was cool. I really like Tabiti. I think he's a monster. I want him to see him move up to heavyweight. I feel like he's a guy who could definitely eventually move up to heavyweight. But what else? Fortuna looked good, but man, he fights ugly, man. I thought he was going to get that dude out of there in like the 2nd or 3rd round, and then he kind of just took his foot off the gas, started holding a lot, and that dude was ready to go for a while. But, I'm really disappointed. I just looked at the PBC October schedule, like really disappointed, man. Like the one card I'm excited about is Mansoor versus Washington. That's going to be a great, that's going to be like a bar fight, but, yeah, what cards do you guys want to see PBC put on before the year's end? I heard DeGale and Butte is going to be announced soon for November, but what other cards would you guys want to see PBC put on, like big fights wise?
Well, there's so much, but Matt, thank you for calling in. I'll answer that. There's so much that they could give us for this end of this year, so it's kind of difficult. You could do like Leo Santa Cruz, Carl Frampton, if Frampton decides to move up for the end of the year, right? You could obviously do Thurman Porter or Thurman Khan or Khan Porter or, however, Porter Khan. There's a lot of things there. You could do Danny Porter. There's definitely still some fights. I know people want the year to end big. I'm just saying, I think there's still some time. We got 90 solid days left, especially if we're counting from today. I think some things could happen. You announce something mid-October, for the middle of December maybe, or the beginning of December. They already got the December card with Danny Jacobs. I just hope that that's not it. Hopefully we get something in November. But I'm actually interested in this Julius Jackson, who's actually our second guest at 8 o'clock in about 7 minutes. I'm actually interested in this card in San Antonio because Argenis Mendez is going to be taking on Miguel Vasquez on the undercard. And if you're a hardcore, you know who both of those guys are. And I'm not counting Argenis Mendez out. He was a pretty decent champ. He lost his title to Rances Bartholomew, a guy that, we all think pretty highly of. He's been doing well for his career. It's not like he's some sort of bum. And, Miguel Vasquez is a guy that, who'd he lose to? Mickey Bay, Saul Canelo Alvarez, and Timothy Bradley. So, yeah, if you're not a hardcore, then you just don't know. You don't know. But you have to educate yourselves. Like, for instance, the guy that Julius Jackson is fighting, he's been in the ring and beaten some guys. He beat Porky Medina, the same guy that knocked out Badu Jack. You know what I'm saying? He's also beat another name. I got to look it up. But, yeah, if you do the research. And the funny thing about that Venezuelan, I got my notes on it, and I'll pull it up in here in just a second. But let me see. We got about 6 minutes. I'm going to try and squeeze another call. Oh. Our editor, Ryan, what's going on, brother? No, it's not actually. Ryan, what's up from Colorado?
What up? How you guys doing?
We're good.
All right, I'm going to make this quick. Who the fuck is Viktor Postol?
Well, I mean,
he's
go ahead.
He's a very devastating Russian, is who he is. And if you've never seen him fight, you definitely want to tune in on Saturday because he's a very slick fighter, very good fighter. He beat Selçuk Aydin, and he's looked impressive every time out.
But who the fuck is Selçuk Aydin?
I like this. I like Ryan already.
He's the one that fought Robert Guerrero when Robert Guerrero first moved up to 147.
And also robbed. He also robbed Jojo Dan. Listen, Selçuk Aydin isn't that good.
All right, but the thing is this, man. He fought DeMarcus Corley and Hank Lundy in the fucking basketball court of his high school, the high school he went to, okay? Matthysse is better. He's a better puncher. He's battle-tested. He's more experienced. Been in the ring with better competition. I don't see how he loses. Matter of fact, I don't know how he's only a -225 favorite. So I'm just gonna put in my pick right now. I got Matthysse in 3 rounds or under. If Postol decides he wants to run around the ring like a little bitch that he is, I give him 6. But besides that, he's going to sleep. 9 rounds under. Peace.
All right. Well, listen, man. Definitely tune in at 8:30. We're gonna be having Beating the Odds with Beeb, and he's gonna be breaking down a couple of other fights and giving you guys, his pick of the week on how to get some change. And since you brought up that betting line, we'll see what he thinks. But I'll tell you this, man. Postal, who's actually, one of the fights that we should be previewing. So why not talk about it, even though we don't have much time? Let's see if we got Gina. Not yet. We're waiting on Gina with Julius Jackson. But while we wait, I mean, obviously, Lucas Matthysse-Viktor Postal is a fight that, it's kind of a 50-50 fight at this point. You got your guys out there that feel maybe Lucas Matthysse left something in the ring versus Ruslan Pavatnikov. And you got your guys like Ryan from Colorado that feel Viktor Postal is no one, and he's fought and then no one, I mean, it all depends on where you value or rank a guy like Hank Lundy, and a guy like Selçuk Aydin, it just really depends if you're going to take those kind of wins over something that Lucas Matthysse has already done with notable wins that he has, over guys like Lamont Peterson and, et cetera, et cetera. Humberto Soto, who's actually on the undercard, and for all the stuff that some of these other promoters get. I mean, Humberto Soto is old last time I checked, right, Robbie?
Yes, he is. Look, I think it's a 50-50 fight, but for those that like boxers, you want to watch a guy like Postal. I think it's going to be more entertaining than the caller from Colorado thinks it's going to be. Because this is a vacant title, and both of these guys have earned their spots. So whoever wins this is going to earn a title belt, and I think it's going to be a very good fight, and I think you're underestimating a guy like Postal.
Well, the thing about Postal, especially from his last fight on HBO with Selçuk Aydin, he looks so sharp. He was really cutting Aydin up. And the question is he going to be able to do that to Lucas Matthysse, who's known as a pretty good body puncher? So he could take the steam and the movement out of Postal. And if Postal's left with, standard legs and no punching power, well, then Matthysse should walk through him. But the thing is that Postal shows angles, and he's got that peskery jab. That jab, it's gonna be effective, and it's gonna be pestering Lucas Matthysse without a doubt. Looks like Gina's ready with Julius Jackson, so let's just bring her on here. Gina, you there?
I am here, and I have Julius Jackson on the line with me.
Julius, how you doing today?
How you guys doing, man?
We're doing good, man. Happy to have you.
Doing great.
Great. We're happy to have you, man. So how's everything going? How's preparation for your October 6th PBC debut?
Oh, man, everything's going great, man. Training camp's been wonderful. It's fight week now, so we're just toning down and you know, staying sharp. And weight's good, everything's good, feeling strong and feeling ready, man.
Yeah, man. So it's been a while since you've been in the ring. Do you think that the inactivity is going to affect you, or have you been getting solid work? Because I know that you're known to, you know, be in Big Bear a lot, and you probably have been already kind of getting Gennady Golovkin ready for the David Lemieux, right? Are you out in Big Bear now?
No, I was earlier this year, but no, I'm not there right now. I stayed home because I've been supposed to fight since August, so I've been in camp at home in the Virgin Islands since August. But I've been through different camps, like you said. I got G ready for his last fight, and I came back home, got my brother ready for his fight, and then got Gabriel Campillo for his last fight. So I've been through some good training camps, so I've been staying busy, you know.
You definitely have, man. That sounds great. So this is going to be only your second time fighting in the United States. How's that for you, and how is it kind of, you know, headlining this PBC card?
Oh man, I'm so ready, man. You know, it's been a long time overdue. You know, I've been expected to fight in the U.S. a couple times before, but opponents just keep pulling out, so those never happen. But so I'm ready, man. I'm excited to fight on U.S. territory again, and it's a beautiful thing, man. I'm ready to headline and be the star of the show.
Now, are you older than your brother John?
Yes, I am by 1 year.
Oh, okay. All right, because I see, you know, obviously everyone knows John went in there with Andy Lee a couple of years back, and you know, you still haven't had that marquee name on your resume. You've been going a little bit slower than your brother. Any particular reason why?
No, I just think different positions. You know, his weight class has a lot more opportunities than mine, and you know, my weight class just takes more time to build up. You know, I think I'm ready for that shot, and it's just the route that I'm being taken. You know, I'm a little slower than my brother, and that's okay. It's all good with me.
So what do you know about Jose Uzcategui?
Not much. You know, I watched a few fights of his on YouTube, and he's a good fighter. You know, got good skills. He's tough. He's not just a Mexican fighter. You know, he's from Venezuela, but he's raised in Mexico, so he's known for his Mexican style. But he's got skills too. He's got boxing skills. He can move a bit, and he's got a pretty good jab and a pretty good straight right. So I'm expecting a tough fight, man. I'm expecting him to be ready and crafty and a tough opponent.
Yeah, he seems pretty solid. I mean, he holds a win over Rogelio Medina. You know, he's best known for knocking out Badu Jack, and you know, he went 10-round unanimous decision with Matt Korobov, and that's probably the fight that most people watch. Did you have an opportunity to see that one?
No, I've seen highlights of it, but I haven't seen the full fight. Matt's a good buddy of mine too. I can't believe I missed that fight.
Yeah, but he was in there, obviously, with a southpaw that time. How do you feel that he's going to fare up against you?
I think he's going to have some good, strong early rounds. You know, I think he's going to be active, and I think he's going to start to move once he feels my power. So I think I'm going to have to chase him down a little bit. But I think he's going to box and keep it interesting for a good first 5 rounds maybe. And then I think he'll slow down, and I'll start to close in. That's how I see the fight going.
Now, I wanted to ask you, did you have an opportunity to watch your last fight back after, you know, you settled in? And did you go back and watch that Jonathan Nelson fight that you had on ShowBoxing in the Little Creek Casino?
Oh, definitely. I watched it maybe about 40 times.
So I'm sure you heard Steve Farhood try to say that you only have the right hand, that you need to work on the left hook. So I was wondering if, you know, you heard that and subconsciously you got to work on it.
Yeah, I've been working on my left hook, especially in camp with G. I've been working on my left hook for a while now, so it wasn't nothing new that he was pointing out. But as he said that, though, I stopped Nelson with 2 left hooks in the 9th round.
Exactly, man. You do have some devastating power, and obviously, you know, for those that don't know, you know, just briefly, I guess, tell them about your dad. Everyone, you know, who knows boxing knows about your dad and all his knockouts, and it seems like the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't got that one punch sleeper shot like my pops did, but I think I got a little bit of it. So you know, it's starting to show up more and more as my career goes on.
Definitely. I mean, it may not be one punch knockout, but you've been one punching guys on the ground for sure. I mean, one punch and they go down.
Right, true.
So is this just to be you know, 100% correct on this? This is going to be your second fight with Al Haymon?
Yes, correct.
And how's that been? I mean, usually when a guy signs to Al, he's a lot more active, and this is going to be your first and only fight of 2015. What's been the problem?
I think it's just where I'm at in my career, man. You know, a guy like me with such a good knockout percentage, I'm ranked high, but I'm still not a money fight. So it's hard for the guys above me to take the risk and fight me, and the guys below me don't want to fight me. So it's been hard, man. This whole year since March, you know, I've been trying to get a fight, and just opponents just keep dropping, and date has to get moved, and opponents drop. And I was supposed to fight with Julius Jackson before Jose, and that didn't happen. So you know, it's just been that kind of back and forth all year.
Now, speaking of fights being hard to make, you have been calling out some guys like Badou Jack and you know, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Do you think that right now at 19-0, I mean, obviously you have to have this fight with Jose Uzcategui. So I mean, if you get past that 20-0, you're ready for those types of names right now? I mean, Badou Jack being a WBC champion and Chavez a former champion.
Yeah, definitely, man. I feel ready for that level of competition. You know, I've been training with top class fighters like Sergio Martinez and Jamie Golovkin, and you know, I've been holding my own with them, and I really feel like I'm ready for the A class fights. You know, Sergio himself said that when I was getting him ready for Chavez, that I would knock Chavez out, and I agree with him. So you know, I'm ready, man. I'm ready for those big fights. But this fight is also title eliminated, so hopefully I get DeGale right after this. So that's what I'm looking for first, the DeGale fight.
Wow, I like your confidence, man. 19-0, and you want DeGale. He proved to be a tough style. You know, a lot of us had him beating George Groves, and he definitely, you know, won the fight with Durrell. That's an interesting fight. So, as far as Jose Uzcategui, did you know that he's kind of training and sparring with J. Leon Love at the TMT gym over there in the Mayweather Boxing Club?
That's when you say that. Yeah, Love. We were talking on Snapchat, and Love hit me up, and he's like, "Wait, I just realized I'm sparring the boy you fighting." I was like, "What?" I didn't know that. So yeah, I just found that out like 2 days ago.
Oh man, if you guys are on Snapchat, that means your friends. I'm sure he told you like, oh, you know, you ain't got nothing to worry about, or watch out for that right hook, that right punch to the body. I mean, what did he? He had to give you some sort of inside info.
Nah, he didn't tell me nothing, man. You know, we're both respectful of you know, we're training with guys. You know, we be respectful. So he didn't say anything. He just said you'll be fine. That's all he told me. He said you'll do fine. That's it.
Cool. So now I know that before the signing and you know, aligning yourself with Haymon, you had a couple of guys with you. Is Samson still with you and 340 boxing? Leslie, I think it's commissioning.
Yep.
Oh, all right, that's good.
Yes, Leslie and yeah, my dad and Samson's still part of the team. Yes, we all joined with Al, and Al's my advisor, and Before Boxing is my promotional team.
Nice. You didn't leave anyone out. Well, Julius, man, we want to thank you. If you have any social media, you could give it out at this time. You know, we don't want to take too much of your time, but we want to thank you for coming on, and we're going to be looking out for you. When you land in Texas, our Texas correspondent, both Mario Munguia and Anthony Rodriguez, will be there to greet you and stick a camera in your face and get another interview.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, man, everybody can reach me. I'm on everything, basically. On Facebook at Julius the Chef. Also, Snapchat is Julius the Chef. I'm on Instagram at Julius the Chef 1, and Twitter is the same, Julius the Chef 1. And also, I just put up my website, man, juliusthechef.com, so you guys can check that out. And yeah, man, I'm excited, man, and thank you guys for giving me this opportunity.
Hey man, you know, you just mentioned your ring name, the Chef, and I just want you to know, and shout out obviously to my guy Damien over there with UNC. He did a wonderful, wonderful video with you and showed and highlighted your cooking skills. Man, you had me hungry, brother. I wanted some of that salmon for real.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Damien, man. Yeah, there's some good people over there at UNC Live. And yeah, they enjoyed the food, man. I did a nice little dinner for him, and yeah, he really got to know me, you know. So that was really cool, man. I appreciate UNC Live for that.
Yeah, no, man, it definitely gave me some insight into you, man. It has me excited and hyped for this fight. You know, it forced me to do some research on Uzcategui and find out he's not a bad opponent. This is actually a good fight. So, you know, I'm imploring everybody to definitely check it out. We're going to be giving away 2 tickets actually to your fight on the show live. So hopefully one of the fans can meet you and you get that win. And again, man, thank you for coming on, and we hope to have you back on soon. Gina, you there?
I'm here. He might have dropped off.
All right. Well, give him his outro. We got it on there, and thank him again. Let's get into these callers. We got these jam-packed phone lines here. A lot of people, man. Definitely don't sleep on this fight. If you might be Georgie Porgy and you don't know who Jose Uzcategui is, he's actually a very decent fighter. A lot of hype in Mexico. He's got a great story. You know, he's originally from Venezuela, and he moved to Mexico to you know, further his boxing career. Obviously, it's a lot more difficult to get a visa to the United States. So he went to Mexico, which is known to be a hotbed for boxing, and he's basically only fought in Mexico outside of one fight. So both he and Julius will be sharing the same common experience in this being their second U.S. fight. So Jose Uzcategui is a good kid too, you know, tall, nice reach. And he did well versus Korobov. He probably wasn't ready for that. But like I said, he's been training with J. Leon Love. He's training at the TMT Boxing Club. And he's taking this one serious, man. And, you know, we should check him out. Now, we're going to get to these phone lines. And first up.
Yo, what up? What up?
What up?
I'm gonna get into these picks real quick. I'm going with Adrien Broner. You know, I'm looking for improvements, and you know, so hopefully, you know, he improve his game. The Matthysse and the Victor fight is like 50-50 in my opinion, because I could see the fight going either way. I could see Victor using his reach and staying on the outside and outboxing Matthysse, because Matthysse showed in the past he had trouble with boxers like Alexander and Judah, or I could see him get knocked out by Matthysse. But I'm gonna have to go with Matthysse because I haven't seen enough of Postal, you know. And then with the Adrien fight, he did get rocked in that fight and almost dropped. So it's a question mark on that chin. And in my opinion, I think Brook, I'm not okay. You said he was okay with the Chavez fight. I'm not okay because he's ranked in some people's rankings. He ranked number 1 or 2. And I think he should be fighting at least the top 5. He could have fought Thurman or Bradley or Ali. You know, and he don't have an excuse because he can fight on either side, the Heyman side and the top rank. So he shouldn't have no excuse. I think he should be fighting top 5. You know, and Khan, I think he should go. I don't think he should wait for the Pacquiao fight. I think he should go back and revenge his loss against either Garcia or Peterson. I think that'd be better for him, just instead of waiting or fighting at nobody. I think he should fight one of them at the end of the year. And that's all I got.
All right, Santana, thanks for making it short and sweet. All good points, man. Let's see here. We're going to get to J-Ro, and we're going to talk some ratings. J-Ro, it is my understanding that you want to talk some ratings, right, sir?
Correct. About the Wilder ratings. First of all, I will say that it is not a good look for PBC that the ratings keep going down event after event, especially when you're trying to grow the brand. It's really not good that it goes down. But with the Wilder one, we should keep it in perspective. He went up against college football. Competition matters. And college football is big in the U.S. So I expected the ratings to be low. And like you said, when you add the opponent that he had, it's gonna be it's gonna be low. But 2 million. But what also people look too much at the average and the peak. The average was 2.33 million. The peak was 3 million. I feel that's the wrong way to look at it, because that really doesn't tell you the story. I look at hourly ratings, half an hour ratings, and quarterly ratings. And through the Wilder ratings, every half an hour, the viewership grew. That means people were like hearing about the fight on Twitter, social media, Facebook, whatever, or people were getting called, like calling their friends saying, hey, you got to tune in, or what have you, that people did not change the channel while they were watching it. After every 30 minutes, the audience grew. To me, that tells that people were interested. Like, I think that's good news. Because for like HBO, for example, when Kirkland Clint Tapia fought, they had like 700,000 viewers. And then when Rigondeaux fought Abeko, 250,000 people changed the channel. And you never saw Rigondeaux again on HBO, because to me, that's a bad rating. And not about the average. It's, you do not want people to change their channel when they're watching it. You want to gain after every 15 minutes, after every 30 minutes, after every hour, you want to gain that viewership. And Wilder did that. So I think, personally, and going up against college football, where like people like maybe changing away from college football to tune into Wilder, I think that's good news. So that's all I want to say about the ratings.
My thing is,
I don't mind the ratings.
My thing is, it wasn't a significant drop from the Broner fight till now for it to garner, so much hoopla. Like when,
but I will say this. With the Broner, I don't think the Broner had the competition the Wilder fight had either. You know what I mean? So
no, but it's still the same point.
It's
still the same point. There's not a big enough drop off. There's just not. I mean, it peaked at 3 million. I think people are just overly critical.
Yeah, I agree. I think people are overly critical because of the, PBC came in, and because of Wilder. I don't know why people have, like, they're anti-Wilder. I don't get it, because the kid hasn't really done anything for him to be hated like this yet. You know what I mean? He seems like a good guy. He's not braggadocious, or not like in your face. He doesn't have the in your face personality like a Mayweather does. But I do agree that people are overly critical. I think it's actually a solid rating. I thought it was going to do worse, because you had the opponent and you had going up against college football. I expected that rating to be at worse. And for him to grow after every 30 minutes, to me, it's a good rating.
Well, J-Ro, let me get to some other callers, and thank you again for calling in. And I'm glad you taught us something there about those ratings. I didn't know about that every hour or half an hour stuff.
Yeah, I can't change once I'm tuned in. I'm watching that.
Yeah, me too. I go in from the beginning. The only thing that I fast forward are commercials, if there's any, and then we keep it moving.
Yeah. To all the killers and the $100. I got you stuck off the realness. We be the infamous, you heard of us. Official Queensbridge murderers.
Yeah, man. What up, Ness? What up, Casual, Robbie, all y'all, man? What's going on?
What up? What up?
Yeah, I'm gonna just get right into my picks, man. Broner he better show something this fight. It's a wrap for him if you don't. Even if he still win, he gotta be impressive. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just gonna win the belt, but he gotta show some type of. He gotta be impressive with this fight. He can't just be no. I believe he gotta have a knockout, man. You know what I'm saying? For him to get back, because people lost respect for Broner. So I believe this is his fight where he needs to show what he gonna do, and if he don't show what he gonna do, you know what I'm saying, all that AB and all that stuff, man, fronting and all that, man, it's just gonna go downhill, man, from here. And then Victor Postal and Matthysse, I got Matthysse. It ain't going no more than 7 rounds. And then I want to talk about that Chavez and Brook, man. I don't know why a lot of people underestimate Diego Chavez, man. Because I believe that fight gonna be better than what people think. I believe Diego Chavez is not promoted right, trained right, and all that. But he do got skills. If he had one of the top-notch trainers, he'd be better than what he is. And not just he got power, and he can take a punch too. Like, so that's gonna be an interesting fight with him and Brook. If Brook holding over there, he's gonna get a decision. But I believe it was in the regular like state. I think Diego Chavez, that's gonna be closer than we think. He might get knocked out. I don't. Brook never showed me nothing yet. So I'm not. And that's all I had to say. You have a blessed night, man.
Thanks.
All right, QB. Enrique, handle that, my nigga.
That ain't that's not my side, bro.
That's you.
Mine.
That's you. Believe me.
Not my side.
All right.
I thought that was your side. I heard your phone ringing.
Never. Not ever. Scorsese, talk to me. Scorsese, talk to me. Georgie, talk to me. Georgie. All right. Let me see what we got on this side. J. Will. 614, you're up.
What's up, bro?
What's going on?
Yeah, man. I was just getting about the fixes for these weekend fights, man. I guess I'm gonna start with the Lucas Matthysse Victor fight, man. I tried to take Victor to the lab, man, over this past week. I haven't saw the last fight. Then I went back and watched the Hank Lundy DeMarco, chop fight. I mean, he can box, but he got no popping in his punches for real, man. So it's just like I really don't see what's going to keep Matthysse off of him.
He only has 11 knockouts in 27 fights, but the problem is Matthysse normally has trouble with guys that can box. So that's why I'm telling people you should take this fight seriously. I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
No, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a blowout. I might think it. I mean, I probably think it's going to be like just a ugly 12-round fight, but Matthysse is going to win. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think. I don't think he's going to be able to keep him off. I mean, I don't think Matthysse is going to get him up out of there because I just don't think dude's going to be still enough. But as far as the Broner fight, man, Broner's going to win that fight. Obviously, I'm just going with Broner. But there's one thing about Broner I do want to say, man. I just think, dude, man, I think after that Maidana fight, I think Maidana knocked some sparks about that boy. And I think that boy he can box, but he can't fight. Like, there was points in that Sean Porter fight where if he would have just grit his teeth and sat down and fought, he could have won a couple more rounds than what he did. But since Maidana really knocked him sparks, because he fought in that Maidana fight. That Maidana fight, he actually fought because he had to. But I think now he's cool with taking a loss just as long as he don't, take that ass whooping. And that's all I see. So I don't see nothing really, anything great for Broner's career at all until he changes that mentality. And then I guess for all this PBC talk, the one thing I'm going to say is this. For the PBC talk, man, the only way PBC is going to really become a household name is if they have a marquee name on a Saturday night. And they had a chance when they had Mayweather's last fight. If Mayweather would have made that for free, PBC would have been a household name, and then they would have taken off from there. But I don't care if they can keep flooding us with fights. I mean, I like it because I'm a hardcore, so I rock with it. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, as far as a casual person, somebody just, let me make sure I check out for this boxing coming on Saturday because I'm pretty sure it's going to be a decent fight. I don't know who they are, but I'm pretty sure it might be entertaining. Ain't nobody checking for it because they ain't had a marquee name to check for it to start it off. It's just like, it's just like the dope game. If you're going to be out here, you want to get somebody you got to give them some nice quality stuff for the low. And then after that, they're going to keep coming back to you. It's no different, man. It's not that deep. But that's all I got to say, man.
All right, Jay. Thanks for calling in. I disagree. I think that, they don't need any one particular fighter to make the brand big because all these guys are gaining notoriety with every fight. Like a guy like Erickson Lubin, we're excited about him because of that, So I think it's good.
He wants the title shot at the beat. He's not even running. He wants the title shot at the beat.
What's going on, everybody? I think this is a great weekend, man, and this could be the weekend of the upsets, man. I think it's very possible. It really is.
Enrique, were you trying to say something? What's going on over there?
Yeah, I wanted to say, am I echoing?
No, just
all right,
talk.
Cool. I wanted to say that all the marquee names that belong to PBC were put on already on NBC, on Spike TV, and on CBS. So, yeah, it's just what it is, man. There's no marquee name bigger than Mayweather or Pacquiao right now. Marquee fights are Amir Khan versus Danny Garcia, Adrien Broner versus Sean Porter Part 2, shit like that. So, yeah, it's just what it is, man. There's fans, they're finicky, as they say. They're tuning into selected fights, and the hardcores are tuning into every fight. And there are 1 million plus of them. So that's pretty much it. And then I wanted to say Victor Postol. Am I saying his name right? His last name?
Yes.
Right. I watched him versus Hank Lundy today, and I'm gonna agree with the caller, man. He's not. I don't think. The thing is, Hank Lundy's wild, and this guy was like pouring jabs, and he kept doing it repeatedly. It was a pattern, and it was follow up. Sometimes he would speed up and do a 1-2. I didn't see any check hooks. I saw Hank Lundy still making it in there, and I know that Matthysse is a hard hitter from what he's done to people, and he can take a punch, and I think he's gonna, look really good Saturday night, and there will be no upset.
Yeah, man. People just are probably overrating that Aiden fight. So, it is what it is. I'm not going with Postal, but I'm sure we're going to mention Victor Postal in a couple of minutes on Beating the Odds with Beeb at 8:30. We're going to take a call before then. 5:30 in the California area. Talk to us. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Hey, what up? It's that Cali Cranholder on Twitter. I go by Vito. I just wanted to I hit you up on Twitter a couple of days ago. I wanted to see what you thought about it. They've been talking a lot about a Thurman Porter fight. I kind of want to see them fight the other welterweights before they go head up against each other. Like I'd rather see Khan Thurman and Garcia Porter before they fight each other.
I mean, I could see that, man. I could see that. I can't say anything like that because people will say that I'm defending any one guy. But I would love Danny versus Sean because that's what they want. They were adamant about that, and I would love Keith versus Khan because that's what he wants. Beeb?
Yeah, man. I agree. I think that'd be a great fight. I don't have a problem with that fight at all. I think Khan really needs to get a big fight, man, because he's just been lying in the cut, just waiting for something, and he's just, eventually something's got to happen for the guy,
Yeah. Well, let me see if we can squeeze one caller in before your segment here. CT from Connecticut, talk to me.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
All right.
I'd just like to talk about the two fights, two main events. I think it's going to be a difficult fight for Matthysse. I think Postal measures range very well with his feet, and he throws a great jab. So it's going to take Matthysse a few rounds to catch up to him. The only difference I believe that's going to be a difference in this fight is Postal's never fought a fighter who can punch like Matthysse. Matthysse goes to the body very well, throws combinations good, and he sets up traps very well. And I can see him catching Postal late and stopping him around the 9th or 10th round. I think Broner's going to win because he doesn't do so well with pressure, which I think is Allakhverdiev can do, but Allakhverdiev doesn't hit hard, and he's not as strong as Porter and Medina. So I see Broner walking him down and winning the decision. I also got a question. I wasn't sure because I know you guys talked about Imam earlier. Earlier was rumor of him possibly fighting Broner-Khabib next. Is that true?
I haven't heard that, but that would be awesome if they could make that fight. because both guys got power, but Imam is a boxer puncher too, so he may have a slight advantage. But again, Provodnikov's got the experience. Imam doesn't have that experience either, so that's a great fight. I would still pick Imam in that fight, but I haven't heard. Have you heard anything about that, Ness?
No, CT, thanks for calling in. That's definitely not going to happen because Amir Iman has a bigger option. Why fight Provodnikov in a fight where you know the guy isn't going to stop coming forward? It's a tough fight, and there's no reward there unless the money is great, right? When on the other hand, you got the winner of Saturday's fight in Victor Postal versus Lucas Matthysse. He's the mandatory to that title shot, so I highly doubt that he's going to go that route. CT, but without any further ado, it's that time, 8:30 on a Thursday. It's time to beat the odds with Beeb.
I was a hell of a handicapper, I can tell you that.
Welcome to another edition of Beating the Odds with Beeb, your one-stop shop on everything revolving around placing bets, betting odds. And remember, it's not about who gets the most picks right. It's about getting the most value for your picks. The only scorecard that matters here is your bank account.
I was so good. Whenever I bet, I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
All right, so this week, man, we're going to go against the grain. We're going to go against popular opinion here. And if you're a conservative bettor, you may want to stay away from this one. Now, let's just jump into it, man. The fight that we're featuring this week is Khabib Allakhverdiev versus Adrien Broner. And Allakhverdiev is a plus 450, which means you have to bet $100 to win $450. And Adrien Broner is a whopping minus 600, which means you have to put up $600 to get 100. Now, an interesting side note here is this morning when I checked this line, Allakhverdiev was a plus 240 and Adrien Broner was a minus 280. So this line just jumped. It went crazy. So there must have been a lot of late money going on Broner, a lot of faith in Broner. Now, both men are coming off losses, but Allakhverdiev's loss to Jesse Vargas, I felt, was a fight that most people thought he won, and I thought he won as well. Now, Allakhverdiev has been a career junior welterweight. As we all know, Broner's started at 130, went to 135, and jumped right up to 147, so he's bounced around in weights. In my opinion, I think Allakhverdiev's the bigger man here, even though Broner has an inch reach advantage. But the problem I have with Broner is it just seems fight after fight, his output just seems to get lower and lower, and he's even starting to become predictable now, laying in the cut, trying to suck his opponent in, and throwing that wide loop-in left hand that just seems to miss an awful lot lately. I think as time has gone by, fighters are starting to pick up on his style, and he's just looked more and more ineffective to me. Now, Allakhverdiev is an aggressive southpaw. He's got a great jab. He's got a sneaky left hand as well. And I was really impressed with Allakhverdiev in his last fight with Jesse Vargas. I thought he was able to push Vargas back with that jab and land some sneaky, left hands right down the pipe. I liked how he was able to push Vargas back to the ropes, and he, did some good body work as well in that fight. And he was able to keep Vargas off balance too with a lot of feints, so he wasn't just jabbing his way in; he was feinting his way in. I just thought he fought a really, really excellent fight, even though he lost. I thought he won the fight. Now at 140 or above, Broner really hasn't been that bully that he used to be at 135, and he hasn't scored a knockout since moving up from lightweight. I don't think it's going to happen in this fight. I know you guys are probably thinking because his fight's in Broner's home state that the judges may favor him. But, Allakhverdiev does have that nonstop aggressive style. He's a precision puncher, and he has that high work rate as well. And this isn't going to be, quality over quantity in my opinion, because Allakhverdiev not only throws a lot, but I think he lands a lot too. So I think he's a solid fighter all around. So I think Allakhverdiev is really worth a small play here. I think he has a shot. You don't have to break the bank on this one. You can put a little money on Allakhverdiev. The last time Broner fought an aggressive southpaw was back in 2011 against Daniel Ponce de Leon, and I thought he struggled in that fight, and I had him losing that fight. An interesting thing here is the Broner camp is saying, hey, we don't know too much about Allakhverdiev. The Vargas camp said the same thing, and look what happened. I thought Vargas lost that fight. So again, this may be high risk for a lot of you. You may be saying, hey, Beeb, you're crazy, but why not just throw a little something on Allakhverdiev? You don't have to put a ton on him, and you get a big chunk of change back if you win, if you hit this one. So you're not going to really go bankrupt on this one. small play here, Allakhverdiev.
So if you put 500 on Broner, what do you get? Even though he's a negative 280, what does that mean?
No, he's a minus 600. So
minus 600, but you
yeah. So you got to put 600 on Broner to make 100. So why not just throw a couple bucks on Allakhverdiev and get that plus 450? Why not? I mean, he has a shot. Broner hasn't been looking great lately, and it just seems fight after fight he's looking worse and worse. And if he's going into this fight with the mentality, hey, this guy can't punch, I don't know who this guy is, just like Vargas did, he could get surprised. And it's, he's only going to get the benefit of the doubt, so many times in his career. After a while, judges are going to start to go against him and start punishing him for not having a high output.
And the Victor Postal line now is?
It's he's actually a plus 195. He went up from a 180 to a plus 195. So
that means 100 meets me 195.
Exactly.
And Matthysse-Viktor's bet would be?
He's I think he was a minus 250 now. Yeah, he's a minus 250 now. So you got to put up 250 to win 100 on Matthysse.
So 500 gets you 200.
Yep.
Not good.
Not good.
Not good.
So how much is the TBV bankroll putting up on this?
I myself, honestly, I'm gonna throw 50. I'm gonna throw 50 on Allakhverdiev, and I'm also in the Postal fight. I think I'm gonna put I like Postal. I think I'm gonna put 100 on Postal. So the TBV bankroll is 100 on Postal, and it's gonna be 50 on Allakhverdiev.
I'll add 25 to your 100 on Postal just because, but
and then we're gonna keep the running track after this weekend. We're gonna see where we stand in our bank account here, and that's just that going off our bank account. That's how you're gonna judge our performance.
So that's 125.
No, we're gonna be putting out 150, and if we win, we could be up $650 if we win.
All right, well, let's take some callers here. We're going to get to Josue from the Lower Oregon.
Yo, what up, Ness? What's up, everybody on the Boxing Voice? What's up, B? What's up, Casual? What's up, Robbie? How you guys doing?
What's happening,
What's up,
bro?
buddy? Everything good.
Damn, you guys are kind of breaking up. I'll make this nice, short and sweet for these picks. I got Matthysse winning, 12-round unanimous decision. Of course, I got to go with Broner. That seems like a lock. And also, I didn't get a chance to call in for the Deontay Wilder post-fight preview, but I wanted to say one thing that I noticed that he wasn't doing and was shooting left hooks to the body. And I just want to say, when you have a reach like that, when you have a huge reach advantage, use it. And that's all I got, man. Ness, thank you.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. Man, we got a guy that hasn't been around in a while. Suleiman, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, how you doing? Good evening, guys. How's everything?
It's going good, brother. Talk to us.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna pick the fighter that Khabib picked up today. I think he's more rounded out. He's probably get a split decision over Adrien Broner. And the other fight, my pick was for Lucas Matthysse. Lucas Matthysse is probably gonna sit down and jab, win a couple of rounds, or the other fighter and win this fight also, and be a new WBC 140-pound champion. You guys have a blessed evening, man. I'll keep listening to the show, and good night.
All right, Suleiman, thanks for calling in. Short and sweet. JD from Texas, talk to us.
What's going on, man? I wanted to call and make my pick too, man. I'm going with Broner, of course. I'm gonna pick stoppage. Hopefully he do get a stoppage so he can be relevant again. And also I'm gonna pick.
Hey JD, man, we're gonna talk to you next week, bruh. You can't be on speaker. We don't even know what you're talking about. I can't even hear you. It's 816, you're up. Who's this? 816.
I know a amigo who will charge you zero and throw you a kilo. I bet in a week, bro, your pockets be stuffed like Chipotle burritos.
What's up, guys?
What up, baby?
Predictions for this week, I got Postal beating Matthysse. I mean, like I said, it's a really close fight, but I mean, I just think that Matthysse losing to Judah and Alexander, and Postal is a much better fighter than those two. So, and I think Matthysse isn't the same fighter. And like, I said it before the Provodnikov fight. I just, I don't think he's the same fighter anymore. And I have, I got my boy AB winning easily against Khabib.
Well, all right, AB. It's funny that he says that and that he's picking Postal. And I don't have a problem with him picking Postal. I have more of a problem him saying that Postal is a better fighter than Zab Judah and Devin Alexander, when both of those guys have fought 10 times the level of opposition that Postal's even been near the ring with.
That's true. I have to say, if I give Postal the eye test, maybe he's. I would say give him the eye test. I think he's a better fighter than Devin Alexander. Judah was a. People forget how good Judah was in his prime, so that's a tough one. But I think he's a better fighter than Alexander in terms of skills. I think he can do more than Alexander. But I agree with you 100%. He still has to prove himself. I mean, his resume is still kind of thin. He doesn't have the names.
I have a question. Why is Vic Postal getting so much talk? Why is his buzz so big? Yesterday you told.
There seems to be an issue on YouTube, guys. You are not coming out. It says they're saying it is unrecognizable and robotic. You guys might want to jump off and back on. Try that while I take some callers. Hurry up. We got a Puerto Rican caller, 787. Come on, you're live. Who's this? 787, you're live. All right. 407, you're up.
What's going on, man? It's Jay from Orlando.
What's up, Jay?
Not much, man. It's been a minute, man, but I listen to the show every week. Shoot, I'll go ahead and get into these picks real quick. I'm going with AB. Hopefully he doesn't let me down, but I got a feeling he might. With Matthysse, I'm going with Postal. And those are going to be my only two picks for the weekend because everyone else I pretty much don't know too much about. But looking forward to seeing Jamal Herring on TV. I've never seen him live before.
All right. Man, you never seen Jamal Herring. That's odd. He's been on a couple of cards already. He's been on Showtime. He actually debuted with the rest of the Olympians on Showtime way back then. Sean Zattel, our Las Vegas correspondent, finally getting a hang of things. What's going on, brother? Make your picks for this weekend.
What's up, fellas? Sorry about the technical difficulties in the past. My picks for this weekend is I do have Adrien Broner against Khabib. How do you say his last name, Nestor?
I've been told it's Allakhverdiev.
Allakhverdiev, I thought it was pronounced.
Allakhverdiev. I think Broner is going to beat him. However, the interesting question to ask going into this fight is Adrien Broner really a better fighter than Jesse Vargas? Because Khabib, in some people's eyes, actually beat Jesse Vargas. Not in my eyes. I think Jesse deserved a close decision. But for the people who think Jesse Vargas is a better fighter than Adrien Broner, you would have to say that Adrien Broner is actually going to lose Saturday night. But as we've all known, he has a lot of talent. But if he fights the way he fought against Sean Porter, he will lose with no question. Without question, he will lose. But with that all being said, I do think a more motivated, more focused Adrien Broner going back down to 140 gets the victory. And as for Lucas Matthysse and Victor Postal, Victor Postal, a lot of people are picking Matthysse, thinking Postal has little to no chance. But the fact of the matter is, just 2 fights ago, make that 3 fights ago, Matthysse went life and death with John Molina Jr. And he almost, he got knocked down twice and was able to win on the cards after, or not able to win on the cards, but was up on the cards after winning by knockout in the 11th round. So we know Matthysse isn't invincible, and Postal's undefeated, and very importantly has a 5-inch reach advantage, and he's also, I believe, younger by about about 2 years. So both fights are highly intriguing. I think I'd be less shocked if Postal beat Matthysse than I would Khabib beating Broner. So, my picks are, at the end of the day, Matthysse and Broner. But I think we're in for pretty much almost 50-50 fights. And speaking of Matthysse, if you don't mind me, Ness, you cut me off. I think Matthysse is the perfect kind of fighter for someone like a Manny Pacquiao right now to fight, because Pacquiao's having his talks with Amir Khan. But Khan is much taller than him. His style presents not the best styles that Pacquiao likes to go against. Pacquiao likes guys to come to him. Pacquiao likes it when he's the guy with the very fast hands. And for the only other time in Pacquiao's career, aside from when he fought Mayweather, he may have to fight a fighter who's just as fast as him and whose length will keep him, because both fighters like to fight on the outside. So Pacquiao is likely not going to try and smother Khan. They're going to fight on the outside. So with the younger guy, taller guy, more rangier guy with more length, who might even be faster at this point than Pacquiao at this stage of Pacquiao's career, isn't a smart fight if you're Bob Arum's promoter, if you're Manny Pacquiao's promoter. So with that being said, finishing this thought, Manny Pacquiao should, if I was Freddie Roach and Bob Arum, I would call Lucas Matthysse, I would call Danny Garcia and try to make those fights ASAP, because those are 2 fights that Manny Pacquiao can win with, not with relative ease, but he can win them decisively as long as he is still 80-70% of what he once was.
Well, all right, Sean. Listen, thanks for calling in, and I'm just shocked that he said that he thinks Postal has more of a shot than Broner in the Allakhverdiev does. But let me get to some other callers here. There's an echo there, Beeb. You got an echo, brother. I just fixed it. You have to mute your mic probably over there. Let me see here. Where we at? Eight one six. 816. Eight 909. 909. You're live.
Yeah, right here. Hello.
Yes, sir. Talk to us.
Hello.
Yes.
New caller.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
It's Infamous Reg from Cali. What's up?
What's going on?
What's going on, man? I just want to pick Humberto Soto over that Relentless fight. You know what I mean? I haven't heard people talk about that, but I got Soto on that one. And then as far as Matthysse and Postal, Argentina all the way. I don't see it going past 8. You know what I mean? 8 rounds, and so that's all I got, man.
All right. Hey, man, I'm actually shocked that you called in to talk about Humberto Soto. Some people would say that he's a bit old. He's going to be going in against Antonio Rusco, and that's a very, very good fight. I'm surprised that didn't make it to the betting the odds with Beeb. I wonder what the odds are looking like for that fight right there, Beeb. It might be some good money to lay down on the young Orozco, because I'm sure Humberto Soto isn't that much of an underdog, simply because, you know, he got that win over John Molina. He's kind of had some sort of resurgence in his career as of late. But this is the same guy that Lucas Matthysse was able to stop. Do you think the young Antonio Orozco is able to pull away this victory? Are you picking him this week?
I didn't see a line on that. I'm going to double check, but that's a tough one, man, because Soto's not a bad. I mean, every now and then he can pull, you know, pulling out of the hat. You know what I mean? Father Time isn't always against him, so he just had a very, very volatile career. He's looked great in some fights. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I mean, if Orozco is like maybe a 2-to-1 dog, he may be worth the play. Why not? Because it's kind of like a 50-50 fight.
Yeah, man. You know, Humberto Soto's about 35 years old, but he's had 76 fights. So, is he, you know, long in the tooth? Maybe not. I mean, he is coming off the John Molina win, but that means that he hasn't fought at all this year. So that inactivity and old age cannot be a good thing. This might be just the right time for the young Antonio Orozco to come in and pull off the victory. Let's get to some other callers here. We got another caller from Florida, 954. 954, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Yo, what's up?
What's going on, brother? Who's this?
All right. This is Jay from Lauderdale. I just want to know what's the story about why Cotto just started camp so late for such a big fight. As far as my picks go, also I got Broner and I got Matthysse. I got the obvious picks, man. So that's all I got. Yo.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in. Let's get to some Skype here. We got Georgie Porgy on the check-in. Georgie, what's going on?
Yo, what's happening, people? Yo.
We hear you, brother. Talk to us.
What's going on? What's up, Georgie?
Man. Let me talk to B real quick. B, I like the segment, I hope, but you picking the wrong guy. Did you just win against Broner right now?
You talk about the Broner fight? I just don't like how Broner's been looking lately, man. It just seems like he's letting guys outwork him. This Allakhverdiev is no joke, man. If they think he is a joke and they go into this fight thinking he's a joke, I don't know, man. Broner just doesn't seem the same, man, mentally or physically. He's just not. It doesn't seem right to me. I don't think he loves the sport anymore.
This is where you guys go wrong all the time, and I accumulate all this crow and all this bird shit. Let me put you on. The forces that be, I already got Broner winning. Don't matter what's going to happen, that nigga already won. Don't put your money on that. The fight that is really more like I said 40-60, that's a real fight, is Postol against Matthysse. And you don't count Matthysse power. That Postol do, I saw a couple of fights, the nigga get hit all the time. As soon as this nigga put those brakes on him, that nigga's gonna quit. I'm telling you. That's it. I don't see him losing at all. Hell no. And so Robbie's there. Yo, Robbie, what is that rat hole, buddy? He's docking, huh? Docking and waving. All right, let that nigga be. But for the most part, that's all I got, guys. Great show like always. Thumbs up, support, and great job.
All right, thank you, Georgie, for calling in. Let's see who we got here. Hey, Beeb, talk to me, man. You want to try that other way?
Try what, Ness?
Didn't you just text me something in there? All right, never mind. Let me see where we're at here. No. We got to get to JP from Long Beach.
Hey, what's up, Boxing Voice? I want to talk about Broner a bit. Would you guys agree that if on the track Broner was on, if he had beat Maidana and by now went on to beat Porter, he would have been a pay-per-view star? Would you all agree?
Yeah, but he didn't win, so I mean, I don't know if those.
Man, yo, he was more than on track, JP, because remember, there was, before that Maidana fight actually happened on Showtime, it was rumored to be Showtime pay-per-view. They were trying that. Broner was even saying that he was going to fight him on pay-per-view. And they should have went that route, you know, because it kind of hurt the kid.
Yeah, and what I hear a lot of a narrative being said out there is that PBC doesn't necessarily know how to groom its fighters. And I heard a caller earlier say something that I thought was pretty good, that they just don't have that guy who's going to be the guy, or the guy who's going to be kind of the Spears figurehead of the PBC. When you think PBC, you think this particular person. I think that person was Broner, and I think he was marketed, you know, it's the good old school Floyd Mayweather prototype, but it was working brilliantly. And the guy was actually more entertaining than Floyd, but it just didn't work. He couldn't keep winning. Just another thing about PBC, I think when they went into business, they're thinking, okay, boxing is really hot right now. Here's the thing. Boxing has always been somewhat of a privilege for fans to have. It was like if you give us Christmas every day, or it's like dating a hot chick. When you first get her, she's hot. Then 3 months later, it's like, where's the next hot one? You know what I mean? So we've never had boxing in abundance where it's available to us so often, and PBC could have misfired in that regard. Still waiting to be seen. But another thought I want to get on is, could you actually fathom the thought, or do you think Golden Boy can handle Canelo, Matthysse actually losing? Like, if Canelo were to lose in knockout fashion, hypothetically speaking, could Golden Boy actually rebound from that?
Yeah, man, you gotta understand, JP. And listen, you know, thanks for calling in, but you gotta understand that Canelo's one of those guys that he could bounce back from a knockout loss the same way that Manny Pacquiao bounced back from a knockout loss. When you have the supporting of an entire country, it doesn't matter. Listen, Canelo doesn't have to fight on HBO, right? Because he's got enough money to go back and rebuild on Televisa. Not that he's going to, because the networks will still pay. I mean, if they're putting Broner on with 2 losses, who, you know, doesn't draw as much as Canelo in tickets or ratings, I mean, why wouldn't they redo Canelo, especially if he lost to, who's he fighting, Cotto? I mean, you lose to Cotto. Cotto's a legend, man. He's a legend. I mean, it's Tito then Cotto, right? And whoever else is in front of them, Khabib could tell you because he's the historian, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they had Macho Camacho. They had what did they way back when they had Alfredo Gomez. He was the real guy way back when. And yet they had Camacho, and they had Trinidad, like you said. So yeah, there's been a lot of great Puerto Rican fighters.
GT Kid.
But you know,
I'm sorry. I thought you were done with that one. I'm sorry.
No, you can go to. I'll go to the caller. I'll make my point later. That's fine.
No, go ahead, brother.
Oh, I was just gonna say that, getting back to that Cotto-Canelo fight, you know, even if Canelo loses, like you said, but you know, what if that fight turns out to be a classic back and forth, a couple knockdowns on both sides, and then he does get knocked out? At least he went out in his shield, and he'll go down as putting up a warrior-like effort. So I agree with you. That's what I was gonna say, because that fight has action written all over it. And although I am picking Cotto, and I think Cotto could knock him out, I think Canelo could. The two styles could mesh together very well and put on a great fight together. So I think it has the potential to be a great fight. And at the end of the day, there probably will be no losers in terms of public appeal.
Listen, if that fight were to end in the fashion of Canelo Kirkland for either man, like if Canelo did that to Cotto or Cotto did that to Canelo, I just wouldn't see why not going into an immediate rematch and you know, pull a 3-peat out of this, pull a 4-peat. I mean, turn it into Mayweather Pacquiao. Turn it into Pacquiao Marquez is what I say, especially if they're going to be producing that type of excitement. All right, GT Kid in the 404.
Hey, what's going on, Ness, Beebs, Robbie? I'm gonna be real quick today. My picks. I'm going with Broner, and I don't know, man. I'm gonna go with Victor beating Matthysse. It's a close fight, though. It's a real close fight. Bees mentioned something that I mentioned Sunday about Broner, man. His counterpunching is terrible. He throws this terrible sweeping left hook when he's trying to counter people coming in. He threw it plenty of times against Porter. He threw it against against Maidana too. I mean, it's just if he tightens up that counterpunching, man, he can keep these guys off of him. But that's why he's struggling so much. He keeps getting his ass whooped because he can't keep nobody off of him. He keeps missing all these counterpunches and people getting up inside of him and just beating him up. And you know, he's used to being a big man down to 130, 135, but you know, he's just not the bigger guy at 140, 147. He got the box, he got the moves, and have to, you know, use his skills, and that's why he's looking like shit right now. And he hasn't figured it out, but whenever he does, I mean, he'll be better off. So hopefully he gets it. But that's all I got, man. Y'all have a good show, man, and Sunday is Crow Day.
All right, GT Kid. Thank you. You know, let me see. We got a couple more callers, and everybody's favorite, Compa. What's going on? Compa, you there? Compa. All right. I don't know if it's the board or it's the guys are not ready, but I'm sure he'll be.
Jersey 7.
Get crazy, get wild, let's party, get loud. If you wanna have fun, do something crazy.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes. Awesome. I've been looking forward to this day for a very long time. As soon as Lucas Matthysse and Postal was announced, I marked it down on the fucking calendar, unlike I do with all those PBC fights, and I've been waiting for it ever since. Now, ever since I've heard about this, I've been telling people on Twitter and in real life, because you know Twitter's not real life, it's fake, that this is a 50-50 fight, or even if it's not, it's a fight that Matthysse could very well lose, and I would not be surprised in the least bit if he does. Matthysse is 5'6". I met him when I was with you, Ness, at the Broner fight in Ohio. The guy is really, really, really fucking tiny. And Postal is almost my height. And on top of that, he has an excellent jab. He has like a B+, A- jab. And he has power that carries late. Now, oh, and by the way, he also moves around the ring very well. He has excellent feet. He has really good legs. Now, even if Postal doesn't even have to be that good to give Matthysse problems because of the style and his build. Now, the problem for Matthysse is Postal is good. And I know he hasn't really fought anybody, but he's done exactly what he was supposed to do every time he steps into the ring, and that's get the W. There's no proof whatsoever that this guy, I'll put it to you this way, Saddam Ali is no better than Victor Postal. Saddam Ali and Victor Postal are like on the same exact fucking level. And stylistically, they're not too different. But Postal is actually more dangerous for a guy like Matthysse because he's longer and he's even more rangier. He just couldn't make the weight. Good for him, you know? And he does have a little bit more power maybe than Saddam Ali. But there's very, very similar fighters. And so I'm really looking forward to it. And if Matthysse does win, I'm going to give him a lot of credit because I know what a tough matchup this is. And believe me, he would not fight Victor Postal if it wasn't for the WBC junior welterweight title. This is not a guy you fight if you don't have to fight. Because he doesn't have a name, and he's a very dangerous fighter, especially for a guy like Matthysse that's 5'6". And, you know, going on to the Broner fight, I've never seen Khabib fight, so I'm not going to pretend like I know about him. I know he had a controversial fight with Jesse Vargas. I didn't watch that fight because every time those tops out pay-per-views come on, I'm just fucking around and talking shit with people, and then I just watch the main event. So, you know, I don't know him, but, you know, you got fuck whatever Beeb said. I mean, come on. Broner's going to win. Let's get fucking real. Even if he loses, he's still going to get the decision. And it's not like he's going to get knocked out. Get fucking real, man. Get fucking real. But other than that, I don't really have anything to say other than, you know, Broner, he seems like he's taking things more seriously, but this is already the third fucking time he's supposedly taking things more seriously. So, you know, but, you know, he's still going to win even if he loses.
All right, Jersey Sev. All right. I mean, a lot of people have it made up in their mind like that this guy, you know, that Allakhverdiev is already 2 rounds in the hole. 646, Chris from New York, what's going on?
Yo, what up, Ness? What up, B? What up, Casual Fan? What up, Robbie? Javier Fortuna, man, this guy is the Dominican savior. He was looking good today, yesterday, man. And how come you guys didn't speak on Chris Eubank Jr. teaming up with Adam Booth? I feel like that's going to be a good look for him, and also sign him with Matchroom Sports. Maybe we'll get to see, hopefully, him transition to the U.S. and make some noise over here. But as far as this weekend's picks, I got I got Victor Postal beating Matthysse, Broner beating Khabib easily, and Antonio Orozco also winning this weekend easily over Humberto Cerdo. And also, I wanted to touch on the situation with Arthur Beterbiev. I feel like him versus Sullivan Barrera would have been an excellent fight. Sullivan Barrera was actually very big for light heavyweight. And since that fight is off, how would you guys feel with a possible collision course between Marcus Brown facing either of the two? Who would you guys favor in that fight? I'm from New York, so I'm obviously going to go with Marcus Brown. I've had faith with him, and I said that he could even beat Beterbiev. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, Chris, man, thanks for calling in. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to say right now, I could not see Brown taking on Beterbiev this moment. I don't even see Heyman doing it. There's some upside in Marcus Brown. He's a good kid. Staten Island's behind him, and he's looking better with every fight. But I don't know. You want to put him in there with such a big puncher so early. Let me see. We got San Diego 760. You're up. San Diego. All right. Leno from the Shy, what up?
What's going on, man? I'm just trying to I'm trying to call in to get my picks in, man. I got Matthysse by 8th round knockout. I just want to say this about Broner, man. Y'all kind of let y'all judgment and y'all hate overshadow how good Broner really is. You got to think, man. He lost to Maidana, who gave Mayweather 2 fights, and Porter. If Porter was in there with Mayweather right now, I don't think it's no easy fight for Mayweather. And I really think only like 2 welterweights could beat Sean Porter anyway. Everybody Broner losing to, you got to think, man, they a lot bigger, man, than he really is. He like 140 pounder going in there with these big welterweights, top 4 welterweights. So I think we beating up on the dude too hard, man, even though, you know, he only lost to great fighters, I think. So I'm going to roll with Broner on that one to give you something to think about.
Well, all right, Leno. Listen, man, I didn't get to really talk much about this weekend's fights, and we'll go ahead and we'll do that. We'll talk about the notable upcoming fights. Obviously, on Friday, October 2nd, we got some fights on Go Fight Live, so if you're a hardcore diehard like me, you tune into this one and you check out Jason Sosa. He's a Philadelphia talent on an up and up. He's doing pretty well. over on Estrella TV and ringtv.com, and I'm pretty sure now you can find it on Yip TV. Golden Boy is going to be putting on a couple of fights, and you know, Patrick Teixeira is someone we should be looking at, but he's in a 10-round you know, fight versus TBA, so you know, it is what it is. I'll be checking it out because my boy Zachary Ochoa is going to be on the undercard versus Alejandro Rodriguez, and I want to keep following him. And Antonio Gutierrez versus Victor Fonseca, I don't know either one of them. So over on Showtime, obviously, Lucas Matthysse, Victor Postal. You know, I'm the same guy that picked Lamont Peterson over Lucas Matthysse. I'm the same guy that picked Danny Garcia over Lucas Matthysse. I'm the same guy that I think I picked Devin Alexander over Lucas Matthysse. I always felt that this guy could be outboxed. I never was on the hype train. You know, it felt good to be one of the only guys against the world in that Danny Garcia-Lucas fight. And, you know, I thought that Peterson would beat Matthysse too if he could stay away from the power. And that's really the thing, isn't it? Can Victor Postal stay away from the power? You know, there was some talk of his legs from one of the other callers, and you know, he may have good legs. I think that even Sean Zattel, our Vegas correspondent, said he may have good legs, but are his legs as slick as Peterson's? Could he duck down low? Could he dodge or shimmy side to side? You know, give you some hip Mike Tyson movement, or is he, you know, European good legs? You know, still straight up, still with a high guard. I don't know. We haven't seen enough of Postal versus, you know, good opposition. You know, like casual fans stated, yeah, you know, he beat Hank Lundy, but John Molina beat Hank Lundy, you know. Well, no, actually, yeah, he did. He knocked him out in the last round when Lundy was winning the entire fight. So, you know, it's and Aiden, you know, he looked good, this guy, versus Selçuk Aiden, but it's Selçuk Aiden. He went life and like he robbed Jojo Dan in Turkey and then fought him again. Like, so I mean, you know, we tend to overrate these guys. Postal has had the majority of his fights in the Ukraine. Even Lundy had to travel to the Ukraine. DeMarcus Corley had to travel to the Ukraine. But that's the thing. Postal doesn't have the power to knock out a DeMarcus Corley, but Thomas Delorme did. So these are the things that just make me think, you know, make me wonder. Is he going to be able to outbox the machine? Is he going to be able to stay away from those punches and that body work that he you know, listen, Matthysse is one of those guys that he has solid body work. So, you know, you have to wonder. I think I'm going to stick to my guns and I'm going to call upset special. I'm going to go with Victor Postal. You know, I like boxers, and I think that he can outbox Matthysse. Now, I won't underestimate Matthysse' skill because I remember what he did versus Ruslan, and he turned into the boxer and the counterpuncher, and he was catching and shooting. But Ruslan was coming forward. So I'm going to stick with the upset special. I don't care. I'm not in this to win it. And, you know, I'm giving my pick, and I think it's going to be Postal, B.
You know, another thing to look at here is the size. And whenever you have a shorter guy that's punching up at somebody, a lot of leverage gets taken off their punch. And not only that, Postal's really skilled at utilizing his range and establishing his range. So I just don't see Matthysse ever getting close enough to land something that could probably stun or stop Postal. And that sounds ridiculous to some, but, you know, these Eastern European fighters are very disciplined. They're very methodical. They stick to their game plan. They go into the ring with their poker faces, and it's not emotional whatsoever. This is just about winning. And, you know, if you look at Matthysse, even versus John Molina was a big, tall guy, and Matthysse looked really shaky early in that fight. He got knocked down a few times. So, you know, Molina was doing well when he was able to catch him at the end of the right hand, and he, you know, fought him from a distance. But for whatever reason, that, you know, that machismo just flared up in Molina's belly, and he wanted to fight him on the inside. So I don't know why he did that, but whatever the case may be, I'm not selling Matthysse short, but I just think that this style is all wrong for him. It has always been all wrong for him. So I don't think all of a sudden it's not going to be all wrong for him just because Viktor Postol doesn't have a pretty name or he's not a flashy fighter that everyone knows about. Well, guess what? After Saturday, a lot of you guys are going to know about Viktor Postol, and you're going to be surprised because he's going to win, in my opinion.
Yeah, so we're both going Postal on that fight, and for the Antonio Rusco-Humberto Soto fight, I'm gonna go with the younger generation. I'm not saying that Humberto Soto can't still cause the upset. Like I said, he's coming off an upset win to John Molina, right? So we'll see what the old Humberto Soto could do. I mean, how old is 35 years old when you've had 76 fights in your entire career? Maybe very old. Mercito Gesta is a guy that, you know, got dropped from Top Rank, and then Golden Boy picked him up, and they're still treating him very, you know, slowly. I mean, this guy is now fighting Martin Honorio. It's like insane, but I'm going to just go with Mercito Gesta. He's not going to get a lot of saliva because, you know, you're not even fighting anybody still. It's been like 5 years. He's been in prospect mode for I mean, he stepped up with Miguel Vasquez, right? He lost to Miguel Vasquez, and the only time they stepped him up was for a title shot, and once he failed that, you know, where he couldn't cut the ring off at all, I mean, you know, this is where he's at. But I'm going with Gesta as well. Marcelino Lopez, never heard of him. Plus, he's fighting somebody none of us ever heard of, TBA. Julian Ramirez, El Camarón, we all heard of him. He's going up against Hugo Parida, and it's a 10-round featherweight fight. I'm going with Julian Ramirez on that one, and Demetrius Ballard on the undercard because he's fighting TBA. What about you guys? All favorites?
That Soto fight is a tough one, folks. I'm getting some feedback in my ear.
All right. Well, I'm pretty sure you're gonna go with all the favorites anyway, right?
Yeah, I mean, I actually think Soto could win that fight. I mean, but if you put a gun to man, I think I will take Orozco. And I'll go with the favorites for the rest of them. Yeah. Yeah.
Casual, man. Cat got your tongue, brother. When you're not gonna say anything?
Yeah, I want to say something, but you said it was issues on the mic, so
we don't even hear you at all now. All right, so I'm gonna get to another. Let me see. Do we got any other callers here? I don't really know. Oh, we do got a Columbus, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? Columbus, Ohio. You're live.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, sir. Who's this?
Yeah, it's Jay Will, man. I got hung up on early when I guess I ended my call or whatever. But I guess with the Viktor Postol thing, man, he has nothing to keep Matthysse up off.
Jay Will. Slow your roll. Didn't you get a call already, player?
That's what I said. I got hung up on. I guess it ended early for me. I guess I don't know.
What you mean? Did you finish your call like on the live show?
No, I said that's all I had to say. And that was, I guess you unmuted me or you hung up on me or whatever. I wasn't really done, I guess.
Well, I mean, normally when you say that's all you have to say, it kind of means you're done. But go ahead and give me a little something. I just want to get to some of these guys that haven't had a chance. You're keeping them from getting on.
Yep. All right.
So go ahead. Give me, say what you're going to say, and I'm going to get to someone else.
Oh, my bad. Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, the only time I really see Matthysse have problems is with people who's kind of willing to exchange with him, like when Zab was exchanging with him. Devin was kind of exchanging with him a little bit, but Devin got tired about the 7th, 8th round. But when it comes to Viktor, I mean, he doesn't really exchange, man. He just always leads. You know, he's always leads with the 1-1-2, 1-1-2. He doesn't really exchange with nobody. So, I mean, if he's going to either have to be super active, always leading in the exchanges, and pretty much staying on that back foot and moving the whole fight. But then it's going to be if Viktor wins, it's going to be an ugly fight. If Matthysse wins, he's going to probably win by hurting. That's all I really have to say. But
all right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. Let's get over to Showtime now. On the undercard, we got Raynell Williams versus the TBA. Jamal Herring. I'm going to go with Jamal Herring. He's finally stepping up versus Yakubu Amadou, who we've seen a couple of times on ESPN, and this is a step up for Jamal Herring. He's starting to look better with every fight. This is a former Olympian from the 2012 games, and he's a lightweight. So we're going to see him in action. I'm going to go with him as well. And on the undercard also is Robert Easter Jr. versus Miguel Acosta, another step-up fight. All these guys are Heyman fighters. I'm happy to see Easter stepping up. I don't know how long he's going to make this weight. I keep telling you guys, he's such a big guy in this lightweight division. But if he can continue to make it, he's going to dominate some people. And just a lot of lightweights on this card, because also who I'm picking as the A side is going to be Jose Pedraza versus Edner Cherry. Now, don't underestimate Edner Cherry because of his 6 losses. I wonder what the betting line on this one is. Probably some good money. Let me just tell you a story. Edner Cherry has been working for the past 4 or 3 fights now, or with this one makes 4, with Keith Thurman's trainer. So Edner Cherry has definitely had a resurgence in his career. He's coming off of a couple of straight wins, if I'm not mistaken. And Pedraza is known to be hit. I mean, if you watch him fight, he does get hit, but he has high activity. I like the kid. Great Puerto Rican. I can't wait to see if, PBC and the Al Heyman world decides to build up Pedraza and Fortuna for a good fight, since they're both fighting at 130. But yeah, man, Edner Cherry is coming off of, I believe, like almost 10 straight wins, you know. He hasn't been that active this year, but at least it's going to be his second fight, so that's one more than Khan, right? But this is a world title shot for Edner Cherry, so I'm just like shocked to see him back here. I mean, he's back on the world stage, and he's getting a title shot, and he's knocked off some names on his way up, man. So this Pedraza fight, this is a guy to watch. This is not a guy that hasn't been properly promoted as a Puerto Rican champion, being as though he has a country, because he's actually born and raised and trains in Puerto Rico. But this is a guy that, given that platform, he could definitely do something. This is definitely a good tool that the PBC and Al Heyman could use to better their brand, because this kid has some skills. He's a fan-friendly fighter, and he's a pretty decent, handsome-looking kid, So I think they'd accept him. I'm gonna take him on the undercards, all the A sides. What about you guys?
Yeah, I like Pedraza a lot, man. I think he can box and he can punch. He's just an all-around tough kid, man. I like him. Robert Easter should win. Herring should win. So I don't think we'll have too many surprises on this Showtime card, except for the Allakhverdiev victory. Other than that, I think all these other young kids are going to show up and they're going to do what they have to do.
Wow, so no shot, no worry at all about Cherry?
No, he's a huge underdog, man. I mean, and I like Cherry, but I just really like this Pedraza kid a lot. I think he's just up and coming right now. He's in a position where he's just gonna continue to get better, and to me he looks better and better every fight, and he looks more confident, and he's just like one of them that silent killer type. You know what I mean? He's relaxed. He has a nice solid type style to him. He's not wild at all. He's very technical, but he can punch too. You know what I mean? And he's an outstanding body puncher. I really like this kid. I think he's got all-around skill.
Yeah, man, I definitely agree with you. So, obviously, the fight that you're taking some slack for, I'm not 100% sure, but it sounds like the listeners think that you're picking Khabib Allakhverdiev to defeat Adrien Broner. Now, here's the thing with Adrien Broner. We had that caller call in and say that we're underestimating his skill and whatnot. Man, there is such a feedback right now. But
you sound fine. You sound fine.
The thing about Broner is he's kind of failed on his step-up fights. People say he's skilled. It's the weight. He was better at this division. Well, it's been a long time since he's been at 135 to still be talking about he was good when he was at 135. Then you talk about the Paulie Malignaggi fight. It's not like he won that convincingly. It's not like there weren't people that thought Paulie won or thought Paulie did enough or just thought, hey, I thought Broner was going to do better. I really thought that remember, I was high on Broner too. I really thought he was going to do some damage to Paulie, and the fight didn't look like that. And then when he got in there with Maidana, and I'm thinking, Maidana ain't did nothing. You know, Maidana lost to Khan. You know, Maidana got dropped 3 times by Victor Ortiz. You know, Maidana was being outboxed by Josecito Lopez till he got knocked out. Like, yeah, Broner could do it. That ain't work. He failed on that one. You know, then he picked on Carlos Molina, and he didn't knock out Carlos Molina, who was 135 pounds, moving up to 140 to face Broner. He didn't knock him out. And then he took on Emmanuel Taylor, and he didn't knock him out. That was a tight fight. And the only reason Broner looked good was because it was a good fight. And the only reason he looked good was because in that last round he scored an uppercut knockdown. You know, but that was a tight back and forth fight. I wonder what would have happened had that knockdown not been scored for Broner. It was a tight fight.
I had it 7-5, and that knockdown gave Broner like I had it 115 and 112. That's what I had it, and it would have been 115, 113 if he didn't have the knockdown. So that's what I'm saying. This guy has just not set the world on fire, man. I hate to interrupt you, but yeah, go ahead.
No interruption at all. I mean, we're kind of on the same page. It's just very difficult to pick him with his inconsistencies, because you got to remember, I picked him versus Antonio DeMarco, and I fell in love with that performance. But I also picked him against Ponce de Leon, another southpaw who he didn't look good against, who I've been on record for years now saying I had Broner losing by 2 rounds in that fight. So now if you're going to let a guy like Ponce de Leon, who was significantly smaller than Broner, you know, be able to do that, I mean, what's a guy like Allakhverdiev going to do? A guy that has nothing to lose and everything to gain here. A guy that's already lost the fight due to the judges. I mean, I don't know. It's a tough one. I'm not going upset special on this one, though. I'm going to stick with Broner because I'm a masochist like the rest of you guys that hate on certain promoters but still watch the fight. I'm just like you. You know, I talk crap about Broner, but, you know, at the end of the day, you know, he's my guy, and
I know a amigo who will charge you 0 and throw you a kilo. Woo! I bet in a week, bro, your pockets be stuffed like Chipotle burritos.
I like him anyway, man.
I mean, I'm just saying, how many times will this guy going to get the benefit of the doubt in fights? Because we're back to where we started. Another aggressive, tough southpaw, just like Ponce de Leon was. And this guy just keeps coming forward. This guy's got an outstanding jab. He's an excellent body puncher. He's a physically strong kid. I thought he manhandled Jesse Vargas, and Jesse Vargas was bigger than him. Jesse Vargas was like 5'10", 5'11". Allakhverdiev's 5'8". So Allakhverdiev is just a physically strong guy, I think. I think he's an aggressive guy, and he throws a lot of punches, and he just keeps coming forward. I just think this is going to be a hell of a type style from Adrien Broner. And if he thinks he's just going to sit back and lie in the pocket, try to counter him with that left hook, I mean, guys are starting to watch tapes of Adrien Broner now, man. He's getting repetitious now, man. He's just doing the same thing over and over again. And I don't know, man. This could definitely be a shocker. It's not out of the realm of possibility. This could be a shocker, man.
Hey, man, I just hope that it's a good fight.
Yo, Ness.
Yeah?
Yeah, go ahead, Scorsese.
Talking about call in, man. I've been on the line for like an hour.
Yo, you know what? I don't even see you here. If you want, I'll send you a video of this. You're not there.
Yeah, you called me and you muted me, man. Like,
I don't
Kenny told you do this?
Yo,
Kenny tell you do this?
I don't even know. I don't even have an option to mute people.
No, you put me on hold. You brought me on and put me on hold. Kenny told you do this, didn't he?
Oh, man, whatever.
Come on, then tell the truth. Tell the listeners the truth. Did Kenny tell you, hey, don't let him talk about us?
All right.
He was out to dinner with Kenny the other night. He had nothing against you, man. He finds you funny.
Man. All right. Let's talk about you said Peter Quillen, he should be on NBC. Oh my God. Nessa, you tripping, man? Did you not see his not the last performance, not where he fought the teddy bear dancer. I'm talking about when he fought Andy Lee. Did you not see him throw 10 punches around? He should be on NBC. Nobody want to see that. You put that on Twitter. I replied to you and what's his name? Showtime executive. What's his name?
Steven Espinoza.
Yeah, I told you that's his name. That's right. I told you that Peter Quillen will not punch. Wilder now runs NBC. He deserves those slots, not Peter Quillen, Danny Jacobs. And he favorited that tweet like, hey, that's probably what we talked about. We don't need Wilder hitting on Showtime and try to put out Peter Quillen out in the front. He ruined this shot. You don't knock a guy down 2 times, and basically, wasn't it like 3 times in the first round? They only gave him credit for 2, and then you don't punch no more? Nobody got time for that. So he don't need to be on there. But what's some more things said? Had me on here so long, man. I forgot about everything, man. I was ready to fire when you put me on hold. I was ready to fire. I was ready to go. Let's talk about Deontay Wilder and my boy Javier Fortuna. I'm gonna talk about those 2 people and Javier Fortuna. I don't know why everybody's so obsessed with hating on Deontay Wilder. I added up his rounds today. He won a world championship with 56 rounds in the bank. 56 rounds over his whole career. He won a world championship. There is no heavyweight fighter that's ready to we have not seen one that's ready to dominate the game like he would be able to if he does this shit the right way. And then
yeah, but Scorsese, you can't keep defending guys that are champions and want to be treated as prospects.
I'm not defending him. He's finna fight Povetkin. You just said
when is he gonna fight Povetkin? Povetkin got a fight scheduled in November. Come on, let's be real.
That's Povetkin's fault. I know that.
All right, but he's not gonna fight him. He's not gonna fight him.
He is gonna fight him.
Not now. Not this year.
You already said it's Povetkin fight. He's trying to fight tall ass Watt because he know he need to get prepared for this ass.
I understand that, Scorsese, but I understand that. What I'm saying is, for the rest of this year, these next 90 days, Alexander Povetkin and Deontay Wilder will not be fighting.
Okay. So it's Povetkin fault, and pretty much you telling Deontay Wilder who does he need to be fighting somebody in the top 5 since it's mandatory is the shot he want, but the dude want to take a fight. That's not his fault.
I mean, he don't need to be fighting top 5, but he don't need to be fighting top 40. But listen, I gotta go, brother. Yeah, top 40. Come on, stop it. He just did that. We good with that. We don't need any more of that. Yeah, man. So this has been the show. I guess Beeb, you're going with Oliver Curdy after all. Mute yourself, Scorsese.
Yes, I'm going with Oliver Curdy, man. I'm just tired of the conspiracy theory. I'm tired of the robbery moniker. I'm tired of all this stuff. Let's just score these rounds the way they're supposed to be scored, and let's just expect the judges to too. Because even a lot of these PBC cards, let's not forget James DeGale came over and he fought Andre Durrell, and he was the outsider, he was the foreigner, and he got a tight, close decision. Why can't Allakhverdiev? You know what I'm saying? Why not?
All right, listen. We're going to go through lightning fast drive-by. We just got 3 new callers. You're only getting 30 seconds. If you think it's a lie, you'll be talking to that fine lady Dial, last name Tone. Ready, set, go. 408, you're up. 30 seconds, go.
Ghost, okay, yeah. It says person. This London-based psychedelic hard rock quintet first caught my ear in the first song, Leaning Boom from the 2000 blah, blah, blah. Second band was Blood Ceremony. I haven't heard of them. That's the one I hadn't heard of.
Yo, who's this? Who's this? 408, what are you talking about?
Go to the Watane show and
this guy's talking on
this band on my site.
He's on another radio show thinking he's winning some sort of contest or something, right? What was that? That was weird. 856, 30 seconds, go.
Did you say 856?
That's what I said.
My man, yo, Ness, what up? It's Chris from Jersey, brother. We spoke earlier. What's popping?
Chris, what's up?
Ain't nothing, brother, man. Listen, it was so hard to get on in between. I called like 3 different times. The kids had me going, but I'm going to just make my picks right quick.
I got Adrien Broner. He looks sharp. He looks focused. He looks different. You know, he's always had the speed. I don't know about the boxing ability, but he got speed. He got a good punch. I think he's going to be able to outbox Allakhverdiev. I got Jose Pedraza, just like Beef said. I'm high on this kid. This kid could really box. He could really box. I think he's going to end up being one of the best fighters to come out of Puerto Rico, especially with his boxing ability. I got Victor Postal over Lucas Matthysse. I think he's going to pull out the upset. I think if we could throw a lot of punches and keep him at bay with that jab, I think he can beat him. I think that's it, man. I just leave it at that. Good look on the glove, man. Good look at reaching out and giving me multiple attempts. You know, I'll try and listen in more regularly and call in more regularly. You guys do a fantastic job, everybody on the squad. Beeves, James, Ringside Robbie, Ryan O'Hara, Mario, the Beast, Mangia. Damn, bro, I haven't called in since you spit that flow like a couple weeks back, and you're a problem. You are a beast. I'll give it to you. Personally, if I knew you, you would be one of the dopest dudes I know because you got bars. But I'll leave it at that, yo. I'll call in and good luck and keep up all the content, man. We love it.
Thank you, Chris. And there you guys have it. That's Christopher Bovey, man. He won that glove. He finally showed up. So all you hawks out there that was emailing me like, I'll take it. Nah, he claimed his glove. 316, 30 seconds. Go.
What's up?
25 seconds.
Oh my God, you guys are burning, man.
20 seconds.
30 seconds. Oh God.
15 seconds.
Hello?
316. You're down to 7 seconds.
Oh, whoa, what? You got me on the line. I'm on the Eric B. and Rakim status right now.
Eric B., what's going on?
This. I'm Joey. I'm sorry, man. I know I'm killing you guys. Phenomenal show tonight. I'm going to get my lotto picks in. I got Edner Cherry with the upset. I got Allakhverdiev winning, but Broner getting the decision. I got Postal winning, and I got my boy Orozco, who trains at a Garden City. Bam Bam Rios, Victor Ortiz came out of there. And last but not least, I got a question for Beeb.
Yes.
Hey, Beeb, when's the last time you watched that James Toney Dave Tiberi fight?
Oh my goodness, a long time ago. That could be the worst decision ever, right? Well, all right.
316, you there?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Oh, that was it. I just was going to ask Beeb about that fight.
All right. 443, you're up.
Yeah, what's up, Nuff?
Wood, what's going on, man? Thanks for the message on YouTube, brother. You the man.
No, that's good, man. Yeah. I was waiting and shit. I wasn't even on hold and shit. I just now pushed the one and shit. Hey, look, Broner, I'm gonna pick Broner, but if he don't win, this nigga gonna be on the chitlin circuit. If he don't win, he definitely gonna be on the chitlin circuit. So I picked Broner in the past. The Postal dude. I seen him fight I seen him fight twice, and I think I think his Matthysse hit him is gonna he's gonna fuck him up. But that's without. I got one more thing. Damn, man. I know it's gonna drive by. I wanted to talk about Khan, man. I probably had to hit y'all up Sunday, man.
All right, brother. We'll get them thoughts together, and anything you want to talk Khan, I'm sure we'll talk about, especially if Mario's on. Last call of the night, 619. Talk to us. 30 seconds. Go.
What up, Boxing Boys? This is Marcos. Just wanted to say the Broner fight, I think this is do or die for Broner. I mean, if you don't win this fight, he's done in my book. So you were talking about the other guy has nothing to lose. I think Broner has everything to lose in this fight. And then I'm going to end it with the question. Matthysse and Victor Postal fight. I'm going to the fight on Saturday. I want to know Beef and Ness. I mean,
You think it's going to be a good fight? It's going to be exciting, or you think it's going to be a dud? Let me know. All right, I'm out.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in, and I'm pretty sure there's no way that fight could be not exciting. I mean, you know, Matthysse, he's not going to stand around. If he sees that Postal's going to box on the outside, he's going to become, you know, a seek and destroy type of guy. It's going to be up to Postal to be able to fight on, you know, backing up or something, right, Beeb? I mean, do you see this fight in any way not producing any action?
I think it's going to be a very entertaining fight, and I think it's going to have some similarities to the Dini Garcia Matthysse fight. I thought that fight was entertaining as well. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be boxer versus boxer punch. How can that not be a good fight, man? Those two styles meshing together.
Sean, what's going on, brother? Back on the check-in.
Yo, what's up? What's up, brother? Yeah. The main event of Tuesday night fights this past Tuesday that I covered was Javier Fortuna, the guy who, the young Dominican fighter in the 130-pound division who won a world title and defended it for the very first time on Tuesday night. Well, a few things I took away from that was that Javier is almost, you know, he's as talented as just about anybody in boxing. He's almost just as talented as his countrymen, or not countrymen, but, you know, a fellow guy from the Caribbean, Guillermo Rigondeaux, and he kind of even reminds you of Joan Guzman. But what I wanted to get to was excuse me, taking a look at my notes. Sorry about this. We have Gary Russell, and I'm talking about between 122 pounds and 130 pounds. We have Gary Russell, Lomachenko, Leo Santa Cruz, Abner Mares, and of course Fortuna. And
Quigg, Frampton.
Any one of them. What was that?
Quigg and Frampton. Lee Selsby.
Quigg and Frampton.
Gradovich.
Quigg and Frampton. Right. Absolutely. But the main money-making guys, the potential headliners, are Russell, Lomachenko, Santa Cruz, possibly Fortuna as well. All these guys, and of course Rigondeaux, who's the king at 122. Now, what would be beautiful, and I was there Tuesday night looking at Fortuna, I thought to myself it would be beautiful if we could have some $1 million featherweights like we used to have 10 years ago. Because Chavez actually fought more in the lightweight divisions, not the featherweight divisions. So up until Pereira, Morales, Pacquiao, Marquez, we didn't have $1 million featherweights. These guys, they were the only guys who have done it up until that point, and they're still really the only guys who have done it since. And that was 10 years ago. So when we take a look at all these beautiful matchups from 122 to 130, hopefully we can get some $1 million featherweights, and the sport can be between those 8 pounds from 122 to 130, the sport can be as good as it's ever been. And that's better because it brings more money to each and every weight class throughout the sport. And, and that's also, if you don't mind me touching on Fortuna just a little bit longer. Fortuna heading into fight night talked to ESPN's Dan Raphael about shortening up his punches. And even though he talked about it, early on his punches were very sharp. And, I mean, you got to see this kid fight live. His hand speed is dazzling. Within a minute, you already know you're looking at a kid who has elite talent. That being said, even though he said he was going to work on shortening his punches, not winging punches as wildly, well, I'm sure anybody who saw the fight on Tuesday night still saw him doing that. And if he's going to keep doing that, he might become just a guy who has the talent to be one of the very best pound for pound, but he might not ever put it all together. And what's interesting about that is, you know, I kind of close on this rant, is that those fighters from the Caribbean, and I'm not talking about the Puerto Rican fighters, but the fighters from the Dominican Republic and specifically Cuba, they have more talent than just about anybody in the sport. I mean, just recently, Julius Gamboa, right now Rigondeaux, right now we have Fortuna. Before we had Joan Guzman. But something all these guys have in common, with the exception of maybe Rigondeaux, is that they come out usually right out they seize control and they show you why they're one of the best fighters in the world. But all of them seem to coast and seem to never bring the best out of themselves. Fighters from Puerto Rico and Mexico, more often than not, put all their talent together to make them the best fighter they can possibly be. But the Dominican and Cuban fighters, they could be right there at the top, but it seems as though they're always okay with just being really talented, really good, but not the best.
You know, Sean, I think I think it has more to do. I think it has more to do with they're not finishers where Puerto Ricans and Mexicans are. And speaking of finishing, we're out of here, but thank you for calling in. You know, that's our Las Vegas correspondent, Sean Zattel. I'm your host, NesGTO. Find me on Twitter at NesGTO. And Beeb and Enrique, any final thoughts before we get on out of here?
Well, no. You hear me?
No, we cannot hear Enrique.
Okay, you can't talk, but I'm going to talk, man. I'm just excited, man. I think these fights are great fights this weekend. And I'm going to be even more excited when my bets come in and I get paid, bro.
Hey, YouTube hears me.
How much exactly are we winning on this Beeb's Corner with this weekend's bet?
We're going to put, we put 50 on Allakhverdiev. We're going to, let's do our math here. We're gonna get 225 if we put 50 on Allakhverdiev.
Wow.
And we're gonna put 100 on Postal to make 200. So we're gonna make 425 this week if we win our bets.
If we win our bets. So, like you said, it's all up to Sunday. Sunday's Crow Day, and it might turn into be payday. With that being said, we'll see you guys Sunday night, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. 7 p.m. Eastern.
You still don't hear me, man.
Join us every Thursday and Sunday live at
The
7 p.m.
microphone.
Eastern Time. Check out theboxingvoice.com for some of the best articles on the hottest news in today's boxing.
Thank you.